Oh my goodness gracious, what it do? You dirty babies. Welcome back, everybody. It's time for another TikTok Trash Tuesday. You know what it is. Oh man, let me tell you. I had a lazy day today. Didn't do a lot, but you know what? That's A-okay. We've got a boatload. An unbelievable boatload of movie TikToks to go through. If it's your first time here on TikTok Trash Tuesday, first and foremost, welcome. Do me a big old giant favor. Hit that like and subscribe button if you have not already. But every TikTok Trash Tuesday, what I do is throughout the week, I'm scrolling through TikTok like one does. And when I come across a movie-related TikTok, something that I think that we could talk about, I see a couple of seconds of it, then I go, oh, hold on. I save it to the phone, and then I come back here on TikTok Trash Tuesday, and we talk about it together. We make fun of some people. Maybe we'll learn something. You never know. You never know what a TikTok Trash Tuesday has in store for you. And I think this Tuesday is going to be no different from the others. Let me turn off the air purifier because I can just hear it humming in the background, and it's going to drive me bananas. I know you probably can't hear it, but that's going to drive me nuts. So hold on, I'll be right back. Unprepared. Turning away like that, it's way too loud. I can't handle it. All right, let's go again. Anywho. All right. So let's roll, everybody. Well, like I said, I got a boatload of stuff to get through here. So let's TikTok Trash Tuesday 44 commence. Oh, hold on. Damn it. I hate when this happens. You got to remove this one, then you got to go over to this one, and then this one. There we go.
Someone said movies are starting to look like the movies that people in movies and I'm actually crying.
Well, you know why that is, don't you? The reason that movies are starting to look like the movies that people watch in movies is because of digital. That's the reason. That is the sole reason why that happens, is because when they used to shoot those movies within movies and stuff, to do it on the cheap, they would shoot those movies with video. And then when you'd see them back, they look like crummy video movies. And now that we're shooting on video, you're seeing crummy video movies. So it goes to show. Makes nothing but sense. All right. Now I'm going to have to take the food away from the dog. I love him to death, but he's not going to, he waits till literally the show to start eating food. What are you doing, pal? You're going to eat it after the show. You're not going to chop on this. I'll learn the program, pal. You eat treats all day, and then all of a sudden, come 8 o'clock, you're like, I feel like I need to eat a full-ass meal now. Thanks, pal. I love him to death, but he just decides to ruin everything. All right, what's next?
So, a lot of takes going around right now.
It's Mark Duplass, everybody. Famous director, actor, writer, raconteur.
About whether Kane Parsons, at the tender age of 19, actually directed the Backrooms, or whether it was more ghost directed by one of his more experienced producers. I was there.
I was there, man. I saw it, okay? I was there. There today.
I suspect one of the reasons I was hired is because I mentor a lot of young filmmakers, and they may have thought it'd be good to have someone there who's sensitive to that, and I was prepared to help out. And what happened was, he didn't need any of us. He was intensely prepared. He spent the last 5 years of his life building out one of the most detailed mythologies I've ever been a part of. Worked incredibly closely with his crew, particularly his DP, shot design, and was very sensitive and calm and smart in dealing with actors. So for those of you who have all these thoughts, were you there?
I wasn't there, but I also don't have those thoughts. So I suppose that all kind of evens out and everything. Yeah, man. Listen, there's some people where their 19-year-old self was not the 19-year-old self that you were. I know I was a bit of a jerkwad at 19 and everything like that. Though I thought I probably could have done all these things. In the reality, could I have? No. I have to yell at the dog a little bit to sit down. He's just walking around like being a little jerk. Love him to death, but what are we doing, pal? Just have a seat. Just go back in your bed, please. Just go lay down. The whole time. I swear to God. Okay, here we go. What's next?
Ranking classic movies that I didn't watch until recently, so I have no nostalgia bias.
Okay, all right. This should be interesting. It's always good to go back and kind of get a hold of some of those classic movies that you might not have seen before. And because they're movies that you haven't seen before, or maybe you haven't had any kind of connection to or any way, shape, or form, it's kind of cool. Like you have no bias against these movies, so you can judge them for what they are. I think that's cool.
So cringy. Did not like a second of it. It was like if Disney wrote what a prostitute would be like, and if they...
Well, listen, lady, we weren't doing like real prostitute stuff, at this time. All right, Richard Gere don't even have gray hair yet. You dig? And we had to Disneyfy prostitution. Come on, what do you think this was all about? And let's be fair here. Have you seen a prostitute before? They don't look like Julia Roberts. I'll tell you that much. Okay. And now I know what some of you were thinking. Adam, how do you know what a prostitute looks like? I used to work at a news station. We shot stuff with prostitutes. I know what prostitutes look like. All right. The stories I could tell you from raw tape that I've seen. Oh my Lord. Hilarious. Hilarious. Why this motherfucker ain't got no clothes on? Shit like that. So trust me, it's good stuff.
They dressed her what a Disney prostitute would look like.
If a prostitute is someone who will love you no matter who you are or what you look like. You remember that song from the South Park CD back in the day?
Movie actually inspired me to never watch a movie ever again. It was probably the worst thing I've ever seen.
Well, listen, I could see how if you're looking at American Pie through a 2026 lens, that you're that's probably not going to be your bag. I can understand that. And fair enough.
I hated every second of it. Fine, didn't live up to the hype, but I'd watch it again. Still cute.
All right, listen, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I mean, judge with her age and everything like that. That's a fair enough review, I'd say.
I just cannot stand Hugh Grant in this movie. Like, he just comes off so pretentious even when he's playing so coy.
Let me tell you, though, let me tell you something, young lady. Back in the day, they ate it up with a spoon. Could not get enough of the Hugh Grant. My God, did Hugh Grant have a spell on the ladies? So much so that this man could get a prostitute and show up on television, just go like, oops a doodle. And then they were just like, he's fine.
So good. I loved the young main girl getting married. I thought she was just like such a quirky, cool character you just don't see very often.
And you're not talking about Martin Short. Did she even watch the movie?
Made me feel everything. Love it so much. This may be the best movie ever in my existence. I can't believe I didn't watch it until recently.
Let me tell you something. This movie got your boy a little bit of action. Not gonna lie to you on that one, kids. Hook up the Keira Knightley Pride and the Prejudice. You ladies gonna love it.
The first time, because ever since then, I probably have watched it like once a month for the past like 3 years, because it is that good. Couldn't really get into it. Boring.
Whoa, man, again, let me tell you something. As a man who was going to high school in 1997 when old Titanic came out there and everything, let me tell you something, boys and girls. The spell of the DiCaprio was under us all, especially the ladies. Oh my word in heaven. They saw Titanic more than we saw Star Wars. It was unbelievable. So you just being like, oh, I don't really get it. It's kind of wild to me. Jennifer's Body. I know a ton of people love Jennifer's Body. Me, don't care for it.
I just didn't love it. Didn't feel a lot. I will say though, Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, he's a handsome man, but as we all know, the story of the Notebook is bull crap. It's terrible. She's a terrible person, and they allow her to be the hero of the story, to be a horrible person and still be the hero. Not good. Not good.
I get it. It's fine, kind of fun, made me cry a little bit, but I'm sorry. Andy McDowell was the worst part by far. So miscast. Amazing. So good.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank God she liked Jurassic Park. Because if this girl just went like, I saw Jurassic Park and I don't get it, we would have had to just jump through the internet, man. You know what I'm saying? Thank heavens.
I love it. Truly, Spielberg, you've done it again. Cute. I liked it.
That's true. Listen, I can understand some of those takes, and some of those takes were good, and maybe only 2 or 3 of them are like, What's next?
Patrick, what's an overrated horror movie?
Oh, easy. Terrifier.
Oh, boy. Well, if we're talking OG Terrifier, then probably, right? The thing that gets you with Terrifier is the one. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's the one where you just go like, oh, this is what we're doing. This right here. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. And so, yeah. Oh, the scene is unbelievable. There's no doubt about that. But is the movie itself then on account of that great? I go so far as to say no. Terrifier doesn't really get good until Terrifier 2. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'll agree with that. The Terrifier 1, as it were, overrated. Yes, I'll agree with that.
Carly, what's an overrated horror movie?
To me, it's a horror movie, and it terrified me as a child. I really don't get it. I don't like it. I'm going to go with E.T.
What the fuck? Madam, I say this with all the love and respect in my heart. You need to leave this country. You need to just say, I'm sorry, I don't qualify to be an American anymore. I revoke my citizenship. Goodbye. You think that E.T. is overrated. E.T., one of the most perfect movies of all time, is overrated. Do you know how many weeks E.T. was #1 at the box office? It's like 50 something. It might even be more than that. It's over 50. It spent over a year at #1 in the box office. It would drop every now and then. It would drop off to like #2 and then right back up to #1 for months. How in the hell? E.T.'s so good. Come on. I just watched E.T. not too long ago. Put a big giant video of it on H&P talking about it and how we bullied Steven Spielberg into actually giving us that theatrical version, from here on out. So go check that video out. No one else did. So please you do it. Please you do it. I promise it's good.
Jake, what's an overrated horror movie?
Sinners.
Yes! That is a correct answer, ladies and gentlemen. An overrated horror movie is Sinners. Now, I want to clarify, is Sinners a good movie? Yes, I enjoyed Sinners. I thought it was a very good film. Is it overrated? 1,000%. 1,000%. Very good, but very overrated. You can be both things. You can be good and be overrated. Sinners is that. Both good and overrated.
Sandra, what's an overrated horror movie?
I'm going to agree with Patrick. I'm going to say Terrifiers. Sorry, Sean. Liz, what's an overrated horror movie?
I'm going to say The Conjuring.
Ooh, no. That one's so good. What are you talking about? If you want to say like the sequels weren't great, that's fine. But that first one is so dope and good. What are you talking about?
Sam, what's an overrated horror movie?
First of all, this question is hard. I literally want to throw up because if you made a movie, good for you.
Okay, let me talk about it. Let me think for a second here before we jump back in with it. And you let me know in the comments what your thought is, what you think the most overrated horror film is. Let me know in the comments because this is what we're talking about. For me, the most overrated horror film. I like it, but I think The Omen's probably pretty overrated. It's good, but is it anywhere remotely as good as, say, The Exorcist? No, not even close. So I'd say that's a good one. That one's overrated. There would have been a time where I would have told you Suspiria was overrated, but I've kind of turned the leaf on that one after a couple of times. But yeah, it's I don't know. Things are appropriately rated most of the time, I would say.
But I'm gonna say Weapons.
I understand people's that they didn't care for it, but to say that it's overrated, that movie's got to be loved more than that one is, I would say. So because that movie's a bit divisive.
Don't kill me!
Allison, what's an overrated horror movie?
Insidious.
Yes. I agree with that. Insidious is boring. I've seen a couple of the later sequels and stuff. They don't do anything for me, but that first Insidious, what a snooze fest. So boring. I was just like, can something happen, please? Please, something happen. It'd be lovely if something happened.
Diane, what's an overrated horror film?
I have two. Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah, look, Sleepaway Camp is mostly a little overrated. Now, because Sleepaway Camp is the last shot, you know what I'm talking about if you've seen it, and it is that kind of holy shit moment. It does leave one's mouth agape, going, "What? What am I watching here?" But the other kills and stuff throughout Sleepaway Camp, are they all that great? No. It is the very memorable kind of end. And I think a lot of people might say Sleepaway Camp 2 better than Sleepaway Camp 1. But again, you're not going to beat that ending, though. That ending is just, like, oh boy.
And Session 9.
Session 9 is like one of those ones that's just like, did I see that at some point? I don't know. It's a horrid name. I was just like, who's remembering that? You know what a good name for a horror movie is? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now that's a title.
Ivy, what's an overrated horror film?
I have 3. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I swear on everything I own, I don't watch things ahead of time. I don't watch them ahead of time. I don't. I'm just that good, I guess. Holy. And not to mention, I do think the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is overrated. I agree. I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it's overrated. It is overrated. People adore the movie far too much. It's a good exploitation movie. It is not all of that. Let's calm down a little bit. I'm mad at myself because I didn't record better audio for this, so I'm going to sync up now and then do this later. Oh, well. All right, maybe we'll have a second half of the show, so to speak. Here we go.
Terrifier and Saw.
I could see that, but then again, when you say things like overrated, I think Saw is appropriately rated because there's people like the first one for sure, and 2 or 3 people are okay with, but after that, most people don't care for them, So I would say they're kind of appropriately rated.
Leah, what's an overrated horror movie?
Unpopular opinion. Midsummer.
That is unpopular because you're wrong. That's a good movie. On all accounts, that's a really good movie. It may not be what some horror fans are looking for in a horror movie because it's daylight all the time and it's not spooky per se. It's more of a vibe and stuff going on, but that movie's fantastic.
Also, Men.
I don't think many people have seen Men. You know, I mean, I've seen it. It's okay, but like, I don't know. I don't think enough people have seen it for it to be over or underrated. I'll put it to you that way.
So Terrifier. There's
Yeah, these motherfuckers hate Terrifier, don't they? I think they hate. Now, let me ask you this: do you think that they hate the Terrifier, or do you think they hate Terrifier fans? Because that's a different story. Because, like, I don't necessarily hate the Nightmare on Nightmare Before Christmas, but I hate Nightmare Before Christmas fans. You know, there's a distinction to be had.
a whole bunch that just aren't scary and they're just shocking for shock value. So that's my opinion.
Well, it's okay to have a wrong opinion, dear. It's okay. It's fine. You're allowed. What's next?
Movies that totally ripped off other movies.
All right, let's see. We'll define what rip-offs mean, and if that makes any sense.
This movie didn't just rip off other movies.
Oh my God, we're talking about this kind of rip-off. Okay. Yes, when we get into international bullcrap rip-offs, I am here for it all day long. Give me a Turkish Spider-Man or the Japanese Spider-Man for that matter. Oh, God, soak me in it all day long. I want it.
Movies, it ripped actual footage from them. This is Turkish Star Wars, or if you want to go by its original name, The Man Who Saved the World, which is not only a spoiler, it's also inaccurate.
I will tell you this much. I would not be surprised if you see this bad boy here one day, not in the not too distant future, as they say, on Sweet. I'm adding the sweet on there because that's his name. But Sean likes spaceships. He's going to do an episode of this. He's got to, bound to.
Are two men saving the world. But the title has got to be referring to this character who is played by the writer of the movie. Two starship pilots are in a battle near a distant planet with a bunch of Star Wars.
Unabashed. Just screw it. Throw in footage from Star Wars.
Footage of the Death Star intercut. And these guys sitting in front of a green screen.
That's not a green screen, first of all. That is a rear projection where they are literally just projecting Star Wars onto a screen and they're standing in front of it. So good.
Saying things like dropping altitude and just bending down. They
so good.
Crash land on a planet, and they are 100% certain it's full of hot single ladies. To their
well, listen, I'm sorry, but if I crash land on a planet, the first thing I'm going to be doing is looking for hot alien ladies. Are you kidding me? Every planet that James T. Kirk dropped on, there was hot ladies at it somehow. So I'm to venture a guess that most alien planets, hot ladies.
Surprise, these hot single ladies are actually hot single skeletons. We are
son of a bitch
now in a horse race as the film score from Indiana Jones plays.
Yes.
I'm sensing a pattern here. There's an evil sorcerer who is out to get them and use their brains to conquer Earth. Our heroes fight their way out of his grasp.
I'm telling you, this is actually starting to look better and better.
And hide with a bunch of villagers in a cave where one of the men falls in love with a lady.
Didn't it look a little bit like Deep Roy? You know what I'm talking about? What's that other guy? What's the other guy that kind of looks like? He was shit, can't remember.
We get a full minute of these two staring at each other, followed by more romantic staring. There's a badass training montage with the heroes punching rocks and jumping with boulders attached to their legs.
Like you do.
To give them the ability of super bounce.
Oh, well, yeah. If you train up with the heavy stuff, then you take them off and all of a sudden you can jump like a son of a bitch.
Actually, calling it Turkish Star Wars really doesn't do it justice. Doing some quick math, it's around 10% Star Wars, 10% Indiana Jones music, and the rest is romantic stares and this guy jumping on a trampoline.
Well, tickets sold?
Since he wrote this movie, I really think he made his own powers this strange super bounce just so he could have trampoline time. And dude...
Hey, man, if trampoline is your passion, trampoline on.
I would have done the same. Let's get back to the story. Even more romantic staring. This guy is carrying the movie simply with eye contact. It's incredible. Next, we have more staring. All
Hey, listen, when you're on this kind of a budget, staring's the best you can do sometimes.
their rock punching really pays off in this.
The overhead, what is this shit? do the mashed potato on them, everybody. It'll be
Incredible fight where the hero chops off a minion's arm,
yeah.
stabs him with it, then chops his other arm off and stabs him with that one too. Highlight
hell yes, double arm, limb decapitation and stabbing. Oh, count me out, baby. It's good.
of the movie for me was when the evil sorcerer captures the heroes again and chooses to bury them alive, something no mortal can withstand, and just sprinkles an inch of dirt on their heads.
They'll be fine.
After a couple seconds, the dudes lift their heads up and the sorcerer goes, what the hell? They're so powerful. Meanwhile, there's battles going on in
literal Death Star footage. Great.
Space using Star Wars footage, and they are unrelated to the storyline. This movie felt like it needed the Star Wars stuff, but I think it could have lived independently as its own thing and would have been fine. Well, this final fight scene, though, is madness. The sorcerer takes 80 chops to the face and then explodes in half. The movie ends with our
man, we got to watch this thing, man. This looks so good.
hero heading home to Earth in the Millennium Falcon, and the Indiana Jones
of course he does.
Theme song plays us out. Perfection.
Hell yes. Turkish Star Wars. Look that shit up, boy. That looks good.
Who's better, Arnold or Stallone?
Well, I'll put it to you this way. For over a decade, we made a comedy bit on Hero Movie Podcast. We're now a half-ass movie podcast, but first we were Hero Movie Podcast. And we had a bit called the Stallone Connection. Every single week we would write this. I say we, Sean would write 99.99% of them. I wrote like, a handful, a dozen maybe. But Sean would write this bit about Stallone and how Stallone magically in one way or another connected back one-to-one to whatever superhero this film was. And when I say we did this every week, I say we did this every week. There are over 500, or maybe closer to 6, but there's over 500 Stallone connections. These are all comedy bits, most of them taking 2 to 5 minutes to go through and read the entire bit. We did all of this shit and not a single solitary contact from Stallone for a decade. For a decade, you would think at some point, somehow, somebody would have told Sylvester Stallone that there's a podcast that did a one-to-one, not Kevin Bacon's 6 Degrees of Separation, a one-to-one connection to every comic book movie ever made in Sylvester Stallone. You think someone would have dropped that knowledge on him, but never a once. I don't know. And at that point, once we kind of retired H&P Volume 1 and everything, the Stallone stuff was off. The bloom was a little off the rose of like a decade and, not a goddamn word. Am I a little bit jaded? Yeah. I'll tell you that much. But, here we go. Matt, what do you got for us? So my answer is, listen, and I'm going to be honest with you. Arnold is so wildly overrated. I still got to go with Stallone because Stallone's a better actor overall. If you don't like it, you're wrong.
I mean, Stallone's
case in point. Show me Arnold Schwarzenegger's equivalent of Copland. You can't do it. And Stallone has other movies, even movies with giant action stuff like Rambo, not Rambo not First Blood, or not Rambo 2 First Blood, or not Rambo First Blood Part 2. Not those movies, but the one. Listen, man, the man fucked up the naming scheme, okay? It's worse than Fast and the Furious. But that movie shows that, you can be balls out action and still have acting and stuff in it. Same thing with Rocky Balboa. Arnold doesn't have that range anywhere his entire career.
Able to be serious in movies, but that's also his big problem. He takes himself way too seriously. Like Arnold.
Well, yeah, he certainly takes himself way too seriously, but that's also kind of the fun of it too. It depends on which era that you get Stallone in, for sure.
It can be serious, but like it has to be like Conan the Barbarian or the Terminator. He has to be like downright scary just to be serious. He's clearly
right, because everything else is a funky little Austrian accent, and you don't take it too awful serious.
Very good at it, but his movies were always better when it was fun. A fun Arnold movie is better than a fun Stallone movie, obviously. And Stallone,
yeah, I'll agree with that statement.
Be fun, but like Arnold could have done the Demolition Man.
True. I agree with that statement for sure. For sure. It may have almost been better.
Easily. And I love Cobra, but like, if it was a Arnold movie, it would have been better. Like Stallone takes himself way too seriously in this movie.
I agree with him taking himself way too seriously in the movie, but I don't know that Arnold would have made it better.
And what's fun about it is kind of the unintentional stuff. Like if Arnold was this character, it would have been an all-time classic.
It certainly would have been even more hilarious in that case. You're right there.
But like obviously, you can't even say it with a straight face. Like imagining Arnold Schwarzenegger in Rocky. But then.
Hey, Adrian, I did it. Just trying to think of the best line. That's going to be a bit that I have now. Is I'm going to go through and I'm going to just start trying to, quote Rocky lines to the voice of Schwarzenegger. That's kind of fun.
And that's the problem with some of the sequels is it's just it gets goofy because Stallone, he just takes himself so seriously.
But he also
But then some of those sequels don't work because they do get goofy. I don't.
Well, no, see, and then he got smart though. Stallone got smart, and he edited out the robot from Rocky IV. That's gone. That's gone now. He went back and he made the movie what it was supposed to be. It's lean, it's mean, it's under 90 minutes, I think. And it smacks that movie, man. But it took out all the robot stuff, and for the better.
No, or like Rambo. Rambo's the other one where it's like, I don't know. Definitely not the first one, First Blood. No way Arnold could have been in that. But
no. Arnold could have been in 2 or 3, but not in First Blood. Not in First Blood.
Honestly, any of the sequels, it could have been Arnold. It's tough because like a great Stallone movie is better than a lot of movies, but a bad Stallone movie is brutal. Oh my.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Rhinestone? Yowzers.
My God. I mean, I think I prefer Arnold just because he found what worked for him.
He knew what he was doing, and he was doing what worked for him. Yeah, he didn't stretch too awful far. Too awful.
And he very, very rarely deviated from it. I don't know. What do you think?
I just told you, man. Were you listening? What's next?
One of my jobs is to make
Francis Ford Coppola versus cinematographer. This is on Megalopolis, the movie that I keep talking about because I want to see it again. I saw it in theaters. It was one of the biggest question marks in my entire life. I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I watching this? What are we trying to say here? I couldn't wait to kind of watch it on video because I wanted to kind of rewatch again to really go, what's Francis trying to say? You're the Adam Driver character, right? Is he the best or the worst? I can't tell. Like, I don't know what's going on in here. Aubrey Plaza's chewing on scenery like nobody's business. All of a sudden, Dustin Hoffman shows up for no fucking reason. For 2 lines. For 2 lines, he shows up. It doesn't make any sense. The movie is not good, but it's one of those things that is so extraordinarily bad that it could only be done by somebody who was as good a director as Francis Ford Coppola. If they were a worse director, they wouldn't have directed something so magnificently bad. Does that make sense?
Stuff from one shot to another. If you don't want that, I don't have to do it. But I think my duty is to tell you what we did.
We made 3 movies together.
Yeah.
There's never been an issue of your job is to get one shot to the other.
No, but
since you don't know how it's going to be cut. The way it's cut.
But I think what he's trying to say is do you know how it's going to be cut? Because he's saying in his mind, he doesn't know how that's going to cut together. And he's trying to save you some time on doing reshoots. That's what he's doing. Now, if he's wrong, explain to him how it's going to cut. So then he doesn't have to worry about it. This is a communication problem. And I think it's just because, he's old.
But part of my job, I think it is to make sure that lighting-wise, from one shot to another, it's as similar as possible.
So, to me, your job is not to match all the light. Your job is to get beautiful images of the scenes that we...
Which includes matching the lights, you dumb old man. What are you doing? What are you talking about? Your job's to do what you just described, but not in the words with which you actually described it. Huh?
We have...
There's a reason why your movie sucks. There's a reason why Francis Ford Coppola's career goes like this. He got all his goodwill done at the beginning, didn't he? He went up as high as you possibly could, and then just took a big old giant swoop on down to the Turdsville.
Imagine if the majority of the highest grossing movies this year were legal thrillers, romantic comedies, and adult dramas.
What a time those were.
It's basically what the 1990s looked like. Over the past few months, I've been doing a deep dive into the budgets and box office grosses of 90s movies, and it's been such a telling investigation. Today, when studios spend a lot of money on a movie, they usually want some kind of safety net, a superhero, a famous toy, a beloved video game, an existing franchise. But in the 1990s, the safety net was often just a movie star. If Harrison Ford, Tom Cruise, Julia Roberts, Tom Hanks, or Sandra
Yeah, we used to have a society, and we used to have, stars and stuff like that, and we don't really have those kinds of people anymore. And if we do, they're still these people. You know what I'm saying? They're still those people. They're not new people. There's no, and then God knows they're trying to push new people on us, but is it working? No. Do you think? For example, not for nothing, not going to disrespect them too awful bad, but facts are what the facts are. They've been trying to make Glenn Powell happen for a minute, and it ain't happening. People just don't care. It is what it is. I couldn't tell you why, but, we ain't making Glenn Powell happen.
Bullock had a new movie coming out. That alone could be the sales pitch. And because audiences reliably showed up for those stars, Hollywood could take all kinds of movies and turn them into...
Who's cool enough today to get people to go out? So, I would say even up until literally the last one, everybody was like, "Hey, if Tom Cruise is showing up in a thing, we'll go watch it." Up until his infamous Oscar debacle, there, Will Smith was somebody that you could very much expect people to show up to the box office for. That's gone. There's just not tough. We just don't have that kind of charisma and stuff anymore. Maybe. Leo has a little bit of that. I think he's still got a little bit of that action. If there's a DiCaprio flick coming out, I think there's a goodly number of people that are still like, okay, yeah, I'll go watch that.
To mainstream events. Look at some of these numbers. Ghost cost $23 million and made more than $500 million worldwide. The Fugitive cost $44 million and made $300.
Man. And remember, dude, like watching The Fugitive in the theater, dude, what an experience that was, man. Like everybody, like it just, the whole room felt electric.
$68 million. The Firm cost $42 million and made $270 million. Sleepless in Seattle cost $21 million and made $228 million.
You see what we're doing here, kids? Even if you went through and doubled those budgets, which would be about what they would be today for those movies and stuff, you're still making a boatload of money. But you have to, horror's doing it right now, where, Backrooms comes out for $700,000. And is on its way of making $100 million at some point. Come on now.
Jerry Maguire cost $50 million and made $274. It's not that there were better movie stars in the 1990s than there are today per se. It's that movie stars were powerful enough to make almost any genre commercially viable. A movie about lawyers, a movie about baseball, a movie about a guy sitting on a park bench telling stories about his life.
You went to see those things because of the people involved. You liked Tom Hanks enough that you were just like, yeah, we've seen that guy and stuff forever. He's a great, lovable character, and it's from the same guy that directed Back to the Future. Okay, great. Yeah, that's why people would want to go see that.
That's why this era is so fascinating to me. It's the last era when studios could spend $20 to $60 million on stories.
That Bodyguard made so much money in the day, man. And that was one of the funniest things I ever remember was like, because obviously, Whitney's version of I Will Always Love You was on the radio a lot. And that was the first time I ever heard the radio skip on the air, which was great because she would it starts out with Whitney just kind of singing, "If I should stay," and then she just kind of keeps on singing, right? So, but the first part on the radio was, "If I thought my radio was possessed. It did that like 8 times before something happened. I was like, oh my God, the CD is skipping at the radio station.
Aimed at adults and reasonably expect them to become some of the biggest movies of the year. We didn't know how good we had it.
I think some of us did. I think some of us knew that we were in a pretty good time. I think we did think that those times would probably never end. I think that's the difference.
Weekend AMC A-list this, weekend Regal Unlimited that. The Cinemark Movie Club is access to one movie a month.
Why don't you just go to the movies then? One movie a month? What the fuck? What is the point? Can't you just go to the movies at that point? You're not even going to? Not even two? Not even like what you would think. You would think bare minimum they'd be, okay, one a week. One a week. One a month? Cinemark, what are you doing?
One feature film every 30 days.
That's is it $5? If it's $5, then fine.
We got to stop this little war going on and help the brethren at the Cinemark. Because
this poor bastard has only got a Cinemark in his area. See, we got AMCs, we got Regals, we got it all, baby.
What do you mean? Do you see the summer releases on the way? Can you imagine
make your choices?
Having to pick one film of those?
But be very, very careful.
There's going to be 30 films. And you have to pick one? No, let's strap these boots up. Let's go.
You chose poorly.
Hey man, so everybody's agreed now on the jewelry disposal methods. You know, we had a whole big meeting to decide what we're gonna do with that ring that's made out of evil to stop the devil from getting it back. He's not the devil. He's devil adjacent. I went if the devil decided to
Devil-esque, if you will.
come up here and put on a pointy hat and start raising a mess, that's that guy. Anyway, we got the little doodle bopper that can make him extra strong, and we couldn't smash it with a hammer or beat it with a brick. And if you put it in fire, it just gets like cool patterns on the side, like a jacket from an Arabian retailer or something. So you know, like the
That's true.
only way to melt it is to toss it into the volcano where it was made originally. Now, I did not realize you could use magma to do such a minute level of metallurgy, but apparently you can. So anyway, they picked out 9 of them who are going to go hike out and do that. There's the tall hobo who smokes too much, the archer femboy, the 4 hibbobits, a very grizzly fuzzy guy with an axe named Gimbal. He's tiny, not as tiny as the hibbobits, but he's still tiny. And then we got the Eddie Vedder dude and the Greg Allman dude. They called them the Fellowship of the Ring, which was neat. And I'm tagging along, but they said I couldn't be part of the fellowship, which is fine by me, you know. I'm not super into clubs anyway. But yeah, anyway, I gotta get my shit together because apparently we're about to head out from Pixie Lands. I think we're gonna like try and hike over a mountaintop or something. It looks real cold up there, but again, fortunately, I got a hoodie, so I think I should be fine.
Fortunately, he's got a hoodie. No worries there. Oh man, good voice cap of the events of Fellowship of the Ring. All right, I'm gonna go get a drink refill. I'll be right back. Make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe button. Why don't you? For the love of crying out loud. Where's one of these little animation deals? I don't have one of those, do I? I don't. Anyways, make something happen. I gotta admit to you, I am really enjoying how Mountain Dew has decided to be patriotic here. And yeah, we're just going. It's American Dew now, huh? The stars and stripes for your pants, boys. I don't know what that means. By the way, speaking of America, 4th of July coming up. We're doing in all of July the summer of Spielberg, so we'll be doing all Steven Spielberg movies in the month of July, and we're going to be starting off with a 4th of July movie, and that's Jaws. That's right, everybody. We're going to be talking Jaws, and I want to kind of preface and start, plugging now for Jaws because I want people to have in mind to go see Jaws on the 4th of July because it's a 4th of July movie. It is. Like, a lot of people don't think about Jaws being a 4th of July movie, but it absolutely is. If you think back to the mayor himself going, you yell Barracuda, people say, what? Huh? You yell shark. You got a panic on your hand on the 4th of July. Good shit. What the fuck do you want? Go away. I love you. Go away. All right, back at it.
Hollywood once spent millions of dollars trying to turn Jim Carrey into a realistic fish, and the results were so horrifying that the movie was completely abandoned.
Good Lord. Wake you up at night, won't it?
In 1996, Warner Bros. Began development of a remake of The Incredible Mr. Limpet.
I remember hearing something about this, and obviously, you know, Jim Carrey could do a Mad Don Knotts.
A movie from 1964 about a man who transforms into a talking fish helps.
Oh no, it turns out I'm just a bit of a fish.
The U.S. Navy locate Nazi submarines during World War II. For this remake, they didn't want a cartoon fish. They wanted something a little more ambitious. A hyper-realistic CGI fish with Jim Carrey's facial performance mapped directly onto it. And
They couldn't do that back then, not well enough at least.
just to be clear, not this Jim Carrey, but this Jim
Oh shit. She said the thing out loud.
Carrey. Studio reportedly poured around $10 million into CGI development.
It looks like Seaman. You remember Seaman from the Dreamcast?
Trying to make this concept work. Animator and director Brad Bird, known for all of these movies, reportedly saw the test footage and said, if you saw this in the water, you would get out of the water and run screaming and tell everyone the world was ending.
Correct assessment.
Shortly after, the project collapsed, with key creative departures, shifting direction, and the studio eventually abandoning the version entirely. But that's actually not where it ends.
What?
Because years later, they tried again. In the late 2000s, the remake kept resurfacing in development hell with different directors, writers, and casts attached at different times. Names like Zach Galifianakis were in the talks at one point for the lead role. And later, a massive ensemble of actors were reportedly discussed.
Zach Galifianakis is Mr. Limpet.
Including John Hamm, Danny McBride, Sarah Silverman, Kevin Hart, Josh Gad, Key and Peele, but none of it ever made into production.
Boy, they keep going to the well with the same crap, don't they?
The project kept changing shape for nearly 2 decades, but it could never actually become a finished film. What do you guys think? Would you actually want to see this movie get made, or should we just forget about it? Let me know.
No, it should not be made. Like The Incredible Mr. Limpet was not all that good to begin with. I'm sorry, the chat's been going here, but my thing hasn't been up. I like normally the thing shows me when I have comments and stuff, but you guys are actually commenting. I'm sorry I haven't been following along here. I got it up now. Pass? What are we passing on? Are you passing on this stream? You can't pass on the stream after commenting on the stream. You can pass on the Mr. Limpet. That's fine. But don't pass on the stream. I love you. I don't have enough people watching. There's 10 people here. I work so hard. This is the 44th one of these that I do, and no one shows up for the love of Christ. So it feels inside sometimes. That's a half act.
This is honestly absolutely fucking nuts from Robert Pattinson, and
Well, that's all right. All right, we're going off pretty close. Okay, good. He was talking about Limpet. Thank you. Okay, thank you. All right, you talked me off the ledge there. All right, we're good. We're good. Ooh, what do they got?
we may have to start talking about him as one of the greatest voice actors of this century.
Listen, Kev, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? You start making wild statements like this. I am a fan of Robert Pattinson, but you're over here going, he's one of the best voice actors of the last 100 years. Let's get some receipts.
So we got our first trailer this morning for a movie coming out in the fall called Primetime, where Robert Pattinson is going to be playing Chris Hansen.
And do you think that this qualifies him as one of the best voice actors of all time? Huh?
And there's a moment in this first teaser where I do say to myself, oh, that does sound a lot like Chris Hansen. But guys, listen to this.
You see how this looks.
Oh, see, there's a thing. That Chris Hansen is not a very difficult person to do an impression of. You just have to emphasize the right words in the right order. Yeah, it's not difficult. A little weird vocal fry, stretching things out for no particular reason, going up and down at weird and odd intervals. It's not that hard to do his impression. Like, are you serious that you're saying that's if he did Keith Morris, that's a better,
Right.
And then listen to Chris Hansen, the actual Chris Hansen, saying the same exact thing.
I smoke cigarettes. They're in my car.
Again, you see how this looks.
You see how this looks. This is not a very difficult voice to do. It's really all about cadence. Being able to get just the right thing, put your tongue in just the right amount. It's not hard. Chris Hansen's not a hard voice to do.
See how this looks, right?
Yes, I know.
That is absolutely fucking nuts and nearly identical.
I just did the same. I just did the same thing again. It's the Chris Hansen voice is not a difficult one to do,
in my opinion. But listen, Robert Pattinson's been doing this pretty regularly lately, voicing the Heron in The Boy and the Heron.
What exactly are you?
Your mother. She's awaiting your rescue.
Now listen, that's good. Now, if you want to put this up as evidence, that's fine, because you don't listen to that and go, "Oh, Robert Pattinson." That's the point. That's the point. Now, that's good. That's a good example. Anyone can do a Chris Hansen impression. Not everyone can do that. See, I don't even think MVD knew about it. See, even he didn't even know that was Pattinson. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That, my friend, is acting.
I'll be your guide.
Where if you had told me this was Robert Pattinson, I wouldn't have believed.
I'd have punched you straight in the dick.
Of course, in the film Mickey 17, where he plays two distinctly different characters with two distinctly different voices.
Yeah, and they're like over the top voices, though. You know.
You died plenty of times. What do you say?
But it really is good, and it's fantastic. And again, I think you're right. Is that this isn't so much of voice acting per se? Is like, this is just acting. Now, the only one that you've had that's voice acting so far is the cartoon. These are just voices within his performances, and that's not called voice acting. That's called acting. There's a distinction.
Scared of.
When he's on screen, he's acting. When it's just his voice, that's voice acting. See. The word voice comes in front of it. That's the distinguisher. That's the qualifier.
Well, I died and I was just born again.
You know who had a bad accent in that movie? Mark Ruffalo.
It felt like it was me continuing on.
And of course, at the same time, playing Batman and Bruce Wayne, which obviously have different distinctive voices. I just can't get over how much he actually sounds like fucking Chris Hansen.
Bro is easily amused. Wow.
Welcome to another installment of a series I like to call Pretending My Local Library is a Blockbuster Rainy Day Edition. As always, we start our visit by returning the movies borrowed from last week.
You don't want to get them late fees.
Before we head on over to the movie section. Starting off with some shit I've never even heard of. Who has seen Asylum Blackout? Looks like an IFC distribution about a trio of musicians working in an insane asylum. I'll put this in the maybe pile.
Like you do. In between your gigs, you go work at insane asylums. It happens all the time.
Up next, who's seen Ghost Stories?
With a cover that good? Not me.
This looks like a British anthology horror film. I will also put this in the maybe pile. I have not revisited Longlegs since seeing it in theaters.
Oh, man. Neither have I, and nor do I have any plans to. I've already seen Silence of the Lambs, and that's a far better film. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, keep watching Longlegs. Look at all the Nick Cage scenes. The cinematography is so much worse than it is everywhere else in the movie that it just shows you that he was in for a hot second and out, and they kind of they shoehorned his ass in there. The movie's not good. It's just not.
I'm an avowed Longlegs hater, and I don't think I'm ready to give it another go. If A Night in the Woods was a VHS, it would be prime pickin' for when I was a kid. Looks like a Blair Witch ripoff, which is actually right up my alley. Fuck it, let's go with this and head on over to the vending machine. I'm feeling like something sweet, so it's between these Oreos, these Nutter Butter Bites, and these Grandma's Vanilla Cream.
First of all, I can tell you right now, those grandma's vanilla cream, fucking terrible. I've never had it in my life, but I can just tell you by looking at that package, forget about it. Forget about it, son. I think in that image that you showed, given the movie involved, I feel like Nutter Butter is the answer here.
Cookies. Despite my vow to never do so, I'm going to go ahead and trust the elderly on this one.
No, you trusted grandma? This is bad news, Bears.
Update. Those cookies were so good I smashed the whole bag on my way out to the car. Let's have ourselves a goddamn Saturday, y'all.
Do people still rent? Let me read that again. I'm going to take it away. I'm going to put it back up. Do people still treat DVD rentals like they did when they were coming out? I'm not getting a film from a library if people still treat them like crap. I don't know. It's been a really long time. Like I'm trying to think about how long ago it was that I rented something from the library. I remember renting some VHS tapes for sure. There was maybe some DVDs back in the day, maybe in the earlier, I don't know. It's been a minute. That's a good question, dude. How well are they kept? Yeah, man. We're gonna be watching Master of the Universe. It's not Masters of the Universe. Get that right. It's Master of the Universe. We're gonna be reviewing that on HMP proper this Sunday. So go check that out. I'm probably gonna end up seeing it probably Thursday, I'd say. What's next?
What's the point in casting a high-profile actor in a role if it's purely voiceover and you're going to modulate their voice to the point where it's unrecognizable anyway?
That's a very good point, and especially with what we're showing here in Skeletor and Jared Leto. I did question that myself.
It's weird that this is happening twice in one summer, but Jeremy Allen White is the voice of Rada the Hutt in The Mandalorian and Grogu. And
does he need to be? No, it could have been anybody, quite frankly.
Jared Leto is voicing Skeletor in the upcoming Masters of the Universe. But the thing is, you watch The Mandalorian and Grogu, you hear Rada the Hutt, and it's not even really recognizable as Jeremy Allen White's voice. And I don't know if White is...
I don't even know that I could recognize the guy's voice out of a lineup, as it were, but, you know, be that as it may.
That much of a name, like all due respect to Jeremy Allen White, but it's not like he's a marketable name. Like the Bears, good I guess, but why cast him if you're going to change his voice so much it doesn't even sound like him? Rada the Hutt could have been voiced by anyone and you just changed the voice so much. I mean, I don't think we even know who voices the twins in The Mandalorian and Grogu. I assume those are just two people they dragged off the street. A far more egregious example is obviously Jared Leto voicing Skeletor in Masters of the Universe.
And he's not even doing one of these. What the hell is going on? If you're going to do a Skeletor, you need to have him high and nearly gay. That's the key to Skeletor.
Leto's casting was announced in December of 2024, and then in June of 2025, several women came forward to accuse Jared Leto of sexual misconduct.
That's not true.
Including several women who were minors at the time of their incidents. There were rumblings of these kinds of things with Jared Leto for a while on
listen to the rumblings.
The internet, but this was like kind of official confirmation, women coming forward. Jared Leto should have lost all his jobs at that point, right? Like that was summer 2025. That's a full year before Masters of the Universe coming out now. That's a lot of time. I assume Jared Leto probably did the mocap for Skeletor as well, but you could have just gotten someone else to play Skeletor. Ridley Scott reshot all of Kevin Spacey's scene in All of the Money in the World with...
And to be frank, it's indistinguishable. I went in watching that movie going, okay, I know any scene with, you know, Getty Sr. in it has been reshot. How is the quality v anything else? And it's not. It's the same. It looks so damn good. It's you know, it's Ridley Scott, guys. Come on.
Christopher Plummer, who could have just done that with Skeletor. I can only assume there was a clause in Jared Leto's contract that states that he can't be recast under any circumstances. But even in 2024, people were sick of Jared Leto. This is a role that probably could have been played by anyone. And again, there's a lot of modulation on Skeletor.
Who does Jared Leto have dirt on? This is what he's really asking. This is the real question. Who does he have dirt on?
His voice where it kind of doesn't even matter at a certain point. So why do it?
Don't do it. Don't do it. More cranberries. I tell you what, I keep doing cranberry references here on TikTok Trash Tuesday. 30 seconds to statutory. We all want to be gods and rock stars, but we're not gonna.
So I work at a movie theater, and this woman was buying tickets from me to see Michael. So I
Why you want to buy these tickets? Why?
print her off the tickets. I hand them to her, and she goes, "Oh, have you seen the movie?" And I go, "Yeah, I've seen it 9 times. I love."
Whoa. Okay. All right. 9.
Seeing customers' reactions when I tell them that, because it's the truth. And
That's a lot, babe. That's a lot.
she looks at me and she goes, "This is my 6th time, and all my friends are telling me that I'm crazy and that I have an issue." I said, "Girl, you don't have an issue."
No. You have issues. Her issues worse than your issues, worse than her issue. But there's issues to be had. For Michael? Okay.
The only issue is that you haven't seen it 7 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, that movie is the most rewatchable movie we have in theaters right now. And the fact that people are paying to see it over and over and over is the reason why it's going to cross $1 billion, and it's going to end up.
Whoa. All right, hold on. We got to do a little reconnaissance, kids. We got to do a little box office mojo reconnaissance here. All right, we're going to go to Michael. Shit, it is going to make $1 billion. It's probably not going to be too difficult. Worldwide right now, $851 million. Good God in heaven. Michael Jackson is still clocking him into theaters. Good God. That is a secret killer right there. Motherfucker is $200 million away from being $1 billion. That's like Harry Potter money, dude. That's nuts. It's because of chicks like these.
Being one of the highest grossing movies of all time.
Not all time. $1 billion is not the highest grossing movie of all time, sweetheart. Let me again, we're going back to the box office mojo. Sorry, I don't have it on screen for you, but it is what it is. All time top lifetime grosses. Well, this is just adjusted for. Hold on, because we're looking at 2 different things. That's $1 billion worldwide for Michael. Let me see what Michael's domestic is. Okay, so they've made an ungodly amount of money overseas. That's the difference. So their domestic is $341 million. So as far as top of all time, this is going to put Michael. Still scrolling. Probably in the top 100, maybe. Yeah, probably 84. It's in the 84 right now. It's the top 84. So that's that's not nothing to sneeze at, mind you, but it's not one of I suppose of all time. Maybe I'm just nitpicking.
Don't feel crazy for rewatching a movie. I'm a chronic movie rewatcher. I saw Sinners in theaters, I think 8 or 9 times. I watched Avengers Endgame 8 or 9 times.
That's bananas, son. I worked at a movie theater and I didn't see movies that I'm I mean, I gotta have diversity, man. I gotta have diversity and stuff. I can't see, and especially some of those movies are like 3 hours long, sweetie. You could go see 2 more different movies.
Saw Frozen 2, I think 5 times. There's nothing wrong with being a movie rewatcher, and don't let anyone make you feel wrong about it.
No, I don't think you should feel wrong about it, but like I would hope that, and okay, if you were like, man, I've seen Sinners 5 times and Sinners has been out for, 3 years, then yeah, sure, you like Sinners a whole bunch. But if it's like, I've seen Sinners, 8 times and it's only been out for 3 months, that's when you've got a problem. That's when you need to have a little bit more diversity in your life, and then you show everybody else that you're on the spectrum.
If I said Scooter and Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets was one of the most impressive animatronics of all time, you'd probably tell me that it's just a Muppet. And
I'd tell you go straight to hell.
That's a part of the brilliance. You see, this is one of the very first times that the Imagineers have incorporated motion capture into its animatronics.
This is cool.
Brought in Scooter's performer, David Rudman, to perform the role one-to-one, so the most authentic movements could be programmed into the animatronic. Not only
now I like that. See, that's big brain work right there. That's big brain work.
Not only does it give us this incredible behind the
Okay. Now we get what we were talking about the other week here. So yes and no.
Scenes pick, but it also opens up.
That's a bullshit pick. That pick is bullshit. They capture the movement, but they didn't. I don't know about all that.
The door for mocap to be used for more animatronics, creating even more terrifying, innovative robots. We sure have come a long way since motion capture was replicating an actor's movements one-to-one. That's what I call progress.
That's interesting.
Welcome back to Over Under, the series where I tell you a movie that I believe is overrated, along with one that I think is underrated.
So we got Steven Spielberg's AI here. I would say that Steven Spielberg's AI is probably underrated because I think people don't like that movie all that much. So I'm going to say it's underrated because it's probably a little bit better than what people actually remember that movie being.
It helps to spark conversation about films of all types and gets you to watch new stuff. Steven Spielberg edition. Overrated West Side Story. Coming from a guy who truly...
I haven't seen Spielberg's West Side Story. Like, for me, I've seen the original West Side Story. My thought was, I don't know why I would want to really see another version of that. Even though it is Steven Spielberg, and like I had plenty of chances to watch it because I was working in a movie theater at the time and everything. But for whatever reason, I just never really got around to it.
Loves musicals. I don't remember being very affected or impacted while watching this movie at all. Granted, I haven't seen it in quite a while, so I might need to revisit this, but I feel like the general public consensus about this movie is that it is among Spielberg's strongest...
No, come on, Val. I'm sure people like it, and as far as like, modern day Spielberg and stuff, it's fine, but like nobody's going like, West Side Story is one of Spielberg's strongest films. Get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about? I mean, we got Schindler's List, for crying out loud.
Late stage films, and I just strongly disagree with that take. Underrated, The Fabelmans, directly in opposition of my opinion.
Yeah, I like The Fabelmans well enough. I don't know if I think it's appropriately rated.
Of West Side Story,
that's the problem with it. I just don't think people really understand the what do you call it? I just don't think people understand what things mean by overrated and underrated. I think they're just like, I like it or I don't like it. And it's like, that's not what overrated, underrated is. Overrated, they have to be, here's where something is rated. And that needs to be either people are doing it too much glaze, not enough glaze, or not, should be praised more. Or if it's, praised just appropriately. Not like, oh, I didn't like it as much. That's not how that works.
Deeply affected and moved when I saw The Fabelmans, a movie that I actually do believe is among his strongest late stage works.
It's fine. It's fine, but late stages work because again, this is a guy who's been doing stuff since the 70s. So, and a lot of strong contenders. That I'm sorry, as much as I enjoy the man's work, nothing he's done in the past decade, comes even close to the stuff 3 decades previous.
Talking about the heaviest themes that Spielberg is the very best at when it comes to movie making. I think this movie is gorgeous and beautiful, and a movie about movies. What's not to love? Do you agree with my picks for over-under? Would you have them swap spots, or maybe...
Why is he still holding?
Maybe not include them in this list at all? Let me know.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go so far as to call him that. He doesn't seem that bad. Come on now.
The internet hates the Backrooms because it's not like the Roblox game.
What? All right, let's hear it out.
That Backrooms movie was not it. It wasn't anything like the Roblox.
Yo, that wasn't it, man. It wasn't like my Roblox game. Jeez.
Wanted it to be like Roblox.
Just watched back.
Listen, I'm gonna say it right now. Just check the hard drives, everybody here.
Backrooms movie, 0 out of 10 movie. It was horrible. So I played the game on Roblox, on Steam. I got the plot and stuff. Genuinely such a horrible movie.
The new Backrooms movie was nothing but complete and utter shit. Complete and utter shit.
They're saying that it's boring.
It's not. You know what's funny is the game that you guys should have played is Portal. Yeah, I just watched a big interview here with their young director here, Kane Parsons, and your boy loves Portal. He loves Portal and Portal 2, and this movie has a lot of Portal DNA in it. Surprisingly, when you think back on it, you're like, yeah, I guess it kind of does. He's a huge Portal fan. And we may be talking about one of the other films that he likes a little bit later on in the video. So stay tuned.
They don't understand any of it. And one guy even said that the Backrooms script should have stayed in the Backrooms. Now, I personally went to see it, and I loved it. And yes, the original ending was better than this ending. I did a whole other video on what they cut out from the original ending that we got from the leaks. And it does explain a lot, but it's still nothing like the Roblox game.
Oh man, this guy's balder than I suspected. Listen, I don't know what this ending bit is, but I will say this. I don't want to know more. I don't need to know more. I hope they don't make another film. I like how this movie ends, but like it's still kind of open as to what it means, what's happening, why everything is the way that it is. And that's awesome to me. And like, again, that keeps you open into other people to have interesting conversations about a movie. You know, I don't want to see the extenuating, adventures of Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, you know? Yes. I thought when I left the movie that it should have made Portal. Yeah, this guy should make Portal. And when you hear him talk about it, like, and I would also be interested to see what he, would kind of bring to that. And another thing that made me kind of laugh is because he's so young, that game came out when he was like 5. So that would be me, like at the age of 20 going, boys, I'm going to direct a Tetris movie. No, listen, I know. I was 5 years old when Tetris came out, but I'm going to be the one that cracks this, okay? Trust me. I played a little bit on Steam.
People were even hating on The Entity because they said it was goofy. They were also complaining.
I didn't think that was goofy at all. I thought it was scary as shit. When that guy's like chasing her and stuff, oh my word.
About how slow the therapist Mary was moving at the end of the movie, and guess what? We all were. But the internet hates the Backrooms. I loved it.
First of all, it's again like when she's moving slow and stuff like that, and she's going through, and like this is like a light spoiler, but just I'm not really saying much of anything here. But when she goes to the room with the couches and stuff like that, that's all kind of like dream stuff, man. That's like something you would go into this room and you can't quite get through it. It's very, I think it's cool.
But was it as good as Obsession? No, Obsession was so much better. However, they're both good.
They're different. They're different movies that are doing far different things. And I don't like this dick measuring contest of going like, this movie's better than this movie. It's just different. They're different movies. Let them be different things. They're trying to accomplish different things. Let them go.
What do you guys think about the Backrooms? Let me know what you're rating it in the comments. And have you seen it? And make sure you're following for more.
Well, listen, if you better not be telling them what your rating is if you haven't seen it. I'll go ahead and tell you that one right off the bat. For me, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a 4-star movie, 4 out of 5 stars. Same thing with Obsession. I think both are really good times. Are they perfect movies? No, but they're both very, very good.
More on this.
I think we need more. And horror is the most interesting genre out right now. So I'm more and more excited to see the horror films. This is hilarious to me. Is that JD Vance? Do you have eyeballs? Like not even like remote, like in what world? In what world? I know you need a little bit of attention. There you go. You got some. So good for you, big man. Good for you. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party, big man. Thank you. Since you got your question up on there, you owe me a like, you son of a bitch. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and hit that like button. When you do that, is you hit off the chat. You hit off the chat, right? Then you hit the thumbs up button. You owe me that much. I read your dumbass comment. Put a like in there, you little turd ball.
What is a movie you have no intention of ever seeing again?
Oh, okay. For me, I'm going to go the movie called 13. It came out in kind of the early 2000s and stuff. It's about like these 13-year-old girls and stuff. I think anybody with young kids needs to watch that movie. But once you watch it, you're not going to want to watch it again because you're just like, this is so uncomfortable. This feels terrible. I don't want any children going out into the real world and getting messed up with, and involved with people that they shouldn't be involved with. And doing, we're at a scary time for kids now, where kids aren't, necessarily as kids as they used to be back in the day, and that movie certainly shows that. And that's one where I'm like, that movie was amazing. I never want to watch it again.
I'm going to upset a lot of people and say Lord of the Rings.
Why? Why? Can you say why?
Kid, never. Oh my god.
Very long. Yeah, very long.
I saw.
Okay, he's at least saying it's long, but but it's good. And honestly, I go for the longer one.
The musical, loved it. Thought it was amazing. The film was so trash.
Well, I can't speak for that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Jesus Christ.
It's sort of endless sort of fighting with no real outcome.
That is funny though, because I knew a couple of people that when Fellowship ended and stuff, they were just like, well, what the hell? That's some bull crap, isn't it? And you're like, there's 2 more movies. And they're like, huh? Yeah, there's 2 more films, so you'll be all right. Black Panther? I mean, let's see. I watched it once in the theater and I think once on home video. So, I mean, I've seen it more than once, but like I don't get a hankering to go back to it.
Panther. Drive. Felt like a kid had made the film like it was just all like proper action and like just a load of like some of the hide right.
It's just him staring and like mysteriously.
Oh my God, I agree with this, man. Drive is woof. I don't need to watch that again. It's boring. Oh, it's got this cool synth music going on.
Into the darkness.
Nosferatu.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about Nosferatu either.
Yeah, I do not like horror, so that was a complete
I love horror, and I didn't care for it.
mistake.
Irreversible.
Clown.
Understandable. See, that's an understandable answer to this, okay? All the others, meh, okay. That one, fair.
NATO.
It is a French film. It's like the underbelly of French.
Tell them what happens in the movie.
Life.
It was like a bunch of
Tell them what happens.
clowns, like they were killing everyone, but they would like travel around like in a tornado.
I think it's meant to be one of those films you're meant to see once. You're not buying the DVD.
Hostel.
Oh no, there's plenty of those. I like Hostel.
Lady Bird.
I understand. Lady Bird.
Main character reminds me of my ex-girlfriend.
Oh yeah, that'll do it, man. If you get something to remind you of an ex, no good.
I could feel it when they did that to them, and then they couldn't run away. Too close to home.
You know, having that
Too close to home. What does that mean?
constant thought of like whatever's going on through the back of my head.
Like Marley and Me is a bit of a.
I ain't watching it again. I'm gonna cry real hard. See, a dog gonna go away, and I'm gonna cry my eyes out. They're gonna be rotten to the. It's going right to the Thames. There is.
A sad movie that I wouldn't watch again.
Mystic River. You should see it because it is quite informative, but it is traumatic.
A lot of people in there, and they're screaming and crying and whatnot. They gotta do murder. A good thing Obsession is playing for a while. Otherwise, I'd have to choose between it and Masters of the Universe. You never know which one it's gonna be.
Someone asked the question about like with this movie Obsession or these movies that are doing really well, the ones that are made for very little money and then make a lot of money. Who's actually receiving the money?
I got the funny joke here that might get me canceled, so I'm not going to say that. But it all depends. It depends. This all comes down to contracts and stuff like that, right? It all depends upon negotiation and who was smart. Do you have clever lawyers and that know how to work the entertainment business? Because there are entertainment lawyers versus your regular kind of criminal lawyers and stuff like that. There's people that specialize in things such as entertainment law, and those are the people that you would want on your side to make sure that you could get the appropriate things. So let's see what she's got.
Right, the big money that comes in later. Who's getting that money?
It's usually the studios. It's the studios, and then like the distributors, studio, above the line, and then you'd say below the line, but nobody's getting any of that money. Come on, get real.
So I'm going to break it down. My name is Selena Ringel. I'm an award-winning filmmaker, and I'm here to inform you and help you make better creative decisions. If you're into that, please like, share, and follow. Okay, so one of the most important things to note about this specific deal was that the writer, director, producer, this movie was made for $800,000.
Pretty darn good. It looks like, I mean, honestly, if you put Obsession in front of me and said this movie cost $5 to $10 million, you wouldn't blink an eye. You wouldn't blink an eye.
Then there was a bidding war at TIFF for it, and it was sold for 14 to 15 million. So just right there's a big pool of money that's going to come back to the producers, to the investors.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So that lot then goes back to them. Then they'll get paid for that. Then the studio is going to get paid from the other stuff. Studio and distributor, I say distributor is actually a more correct term. Then the distributor then is going to get the other money. And if the books work out, then any extra profits, which usually never show up, by the way, creative accounting, will say, oh, well, we give you more, but we've got to recoup all these costs from this thing and that thing and the other thing. And then they keep you in a perpetual loop and never actually pay you money. That's, listen, was the Weinstein stock and trade for, almost 30 years. So yeah, that stuff happens.
To probably the writer, director, if he wrote a good contract, he should have.
See what I'm saying? It all comes down to that contract. If your contract sucks, you're going to get screwed. If your contract's good, you might not get hired. You know what I'm saying?
Written some money for himself that could come in as deferred payment when money came in. He might not have had a good contract, so that's something to be very aware of when you're making your own movie. If you're working for very little money, make sure to always put yourself in as a deferred payment for more money when more money comes in. Then from there, Focus Features takes it to theaters, right? And it's a huge release, and now it's made over $75 million in box office. But remember that they have a lot of expenses and a lot of P&A.
See? That's how they get you. They're like, oh, we never recouped all of our costs. We're still in the red on this one, man. Till we're not in the red anymore, we can't give you any extra. We got to pay all of our bills first. So sorry.
That they're going to have to get first before all the producers and everyone else gets money.
Unless you have, again, an amazing lawyer that will go and put together for you an unbelievable deal where you don't have to worry about that.
All in all, my guess is that everyone saw some money from this. But my biggest takeaway would be very aware of your contracts when you are making an independent film.
Yep.
You should always imagine the best case scenario and write your contract like that. Also know that anybody coming in to help you in any way.
That was the best. Always remember. And don't forget that.
Thumbs up or thumbs down to horror movies releasing in June.
Okay. Oh boy, I don't know. Do you guys think that should I go see a scary movie? Because I'm gonna go see Master of the Universe because we're doing that for the podcast. Should I see Scary Movie as well? I just can't imagine it's going to be good.
The scary movie franchise doesn't really do anything for me, and selling this as not afraid to go there comedy is...
Yeah, it feels like it's probably they've almost said like, "Oh, we gonna get up in that ass," and I'm like, I don't think you will. I bet you're gonna be boring and dull.
Even less intriguing. I'm giving this a thumbs down. Although I will probably be buying this popcorn bucket, and,
Yeah, right.
and it's the only thing that gets a thumbs up. I
And the little butter container, bro.
hate myself for how excited I get for shark movies, but I'm ready to get hurt again. Chum is going to get a I should know better thumbs up.
Yeah, you probably should.
I don't know how it took us this long to get a big-ass Kraken movie, but until we get a bad Kraken movie, I'm going to give this a thumbs up. Am I excited for the first Steven Spielberg alien movie since War of the Worlds? Not really.
I mean, I'm not either, but like I haven't, like I've specifically liked walk out of the theater when the trailers and stuff start. I don't really want to know anything. I haven't watched it. I don't know. I don't know nothing about the movie. So, you know, that's how I want it.
Especially not after watching that trailer. But I will not miss an opportunity to see a Spielberg movie in theaters. I'll be there day one. I really hope this is good. I'll give it an optimistic thumbs up. Find Your Friends will be making its debut on Shudder, and it's being described as a girls' trip turned revenge fantasy.
Ooh, okay.
Sure, why not? Sign me up. I'll give
like
this
that.
a thumbs up. Leviticus is an Australian queer horror film that's being described as
Those words all sound hilarious when you put them together.
It Follows meets Heated Rivalry. That alone is enough to get 2 giant thumbs up. Rose of Nevada is a British sci-fi drama about this lost fishing boat that reappears after 30 years. Seems to have some horror and time travel elements to it. Very intrigued by this and will definitely be checking it out. 2 big thumbs up. We're finally getting the Hungry Hungry Hippos horror movie that nobody asked for.
Yes!
I, for one, am delighted and intrigued. I'll give this a thumbs up.
What? That's for real, though?
Strung is a psychological horror thriller being exclusively released on Peacock. I'm intrigued by screenshots like this, but this also just sounds like a rehash of The Perfection back in 2018.
I don't like, here's the thing. I'm going to watch. Seeing musicians not know how to actually play instruments is a rough one. And the violin is one that's like, that's tough to fake and fake well. And if you're going to shoot around it, it's going to be obvious that you're shooting around the person that can't do a lot of shots from the back where you can't quite see, you know, the fingers and stuff like that. It'll be bad. It's like when you go back and watch Walk the Line. Joaquin Phoenix does not know how to play guitar. He knows how to hold a guitar. He knows how to basically almost feel like he knows how to strum, but he does not know how to play chords. He does not know what to do with his hands.
I'll give this an optimistic thumbs up. Camp is being described as a Gen Z take on The Craft, which conceptually I'm on board with. And it's set at a Christian grief camp. I'm going to give this an intriguing thumbs up. And last but not least, Jacked is a slasher set in the summer of 1987. And it follows these 2 teenagers who get stranded at a lake and are being stalked by an axe-wielding killer. We have seen this premise probably more times than any other premise in all of horror. And I'm still going to give this a thumbs up.
Yeah, like I've said, I think horror is like one of the more interesting genres going right now. There's not too many other genres out there where people are just trying new things and experimenting and not really worrying about, you know, whatever. They're just going like, we'll take a small amount of money, we'll make a little bit of a gamble, and chances are it'll pay off. And it has been for many of them. So I fear the movie Pitfall will destroy any future possibility of a movie based on 80s video game Pitfall. There's a Pitfall game or movie coming out. We are devoid of ideas, ladies and gentlemen.
Did anybody see the movie Dick Tracy?
Of course. Oh, yeah. We reviewed it on HMP Volume 1 back in the day. Go check it out.
Of course. This was like one of the 90s movies.
It was directed by Warren Beatty, right?
It was directed, like the whole thing. Well, this is what's going to get important. He went through a lot of hoops to gain the rights to this property, and the movie was super successful, but the studio, they wanted to make another movie without him and a TV series and like cut him out. And so he and his team
because Warren Beatty is notoriously a pain in the ass.
Of agents found a loophole in his contract that if as long as he continued to make some sort of content every decade or so, they could not do anything with the property. So every 10 years, he like dresses up as Dick Tracy and films an interview with like Leonard Maltin and some other guy where he kind of talks kind of in character, kind of not, kind of just talking about being Dick Tracy, and they air it at like 2 a.m. And as long as he does that every 10 years, they can't make any more Dick Tracy.
Wild but true. Why he's sitting on this property that no one wants. Why don't you just sell it? Why don't you just sell it? You know what I'm saying? Dick Tracy 4K, Dick Tracy 4K. I agree. I think a Dick Tracy 4K would be magnificent, man. Get that whole fire and stuff going in the end with all the colors and the HDR and stuff. Put it in my veins, please. Yes. Yes. That gives one Marv Albert, yes.
What's a movie franchise that you have never watched?
Ooh, okay. My Big Fat Greek Wedding. That's a good one. I haven't seen a full Twilight movie. I watched like the first like quarter of the first Twilight movie. When he stopped the van with his hand, I was like, I'm fucking out. I'm like, no, I won't be watching this. Any other one that I wouldn't? Nothing else kind of strikes to mind real fast.
One of my coworkers asked me last week if I'd ever seen Casino Royale. And Bonds. You hadn't seen no Bonds? I had admitted I have actually never seen a single Bond movie.
Here's the thing, brother. If there weren't 25 of them, perhaps you might have an excuse. There's literally 25 Bond movies. If you said, I haven't seen all the Roger Moore ones, fine. But if you said, I never saw a James Bond movie, I don't know about all that.
So, with that being said, it's confession time. For whatever reason, I have never watched the original Star Wars trilogy.
I've heard this before. Again, I don't know how this is possible, never having seen the Star Wars, but I will say this. If you have gotten this far within your life and you have yet to see Star Wars, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, man, because if you see Star Wars at this point, you will just be disappointed. You'll have been hyped up too much, and you'll see it and you'll be like, this is what everybody was talking about? This? Because, you know, you've had a lot of information, in cinema in the world post Star Wars. So perhaps a good bit of it would seem archaic to you.
I've never seen the first Godfather movie, but never part 2 or 3.
That's fine. That's fine. Honestly, I mean, it's good enough as a standalone movie, if I'm honest. I really like part 2. I think everybody does, but part 3 doesn't need to exist in any of its actual forms. But if you just saw just The Godfather, nothing wrong with that.
And I have never seen the original Jurassic Park trilogy.
Then, oh my God. Now you're just being a silly goose. You don't need to be doing all that, pal. Go ahead and just watch yourself a Jurassic Park or 2. It'll be fine.
The Mandalorian and Grogu is exactly what it's like to have a single father. You wear the same thing for a week straight. You get dragged to business meetings. He lets you eat bugs. He talks you through something you were told you should never do. Go into my top drawer. Behind the Playboys, there's a piece of paper with a number written on it. I need you to read me that number. He'll fight for you. He'll die for you. He will not remember that you had a field trip. This is the way.
Hey, listen, that's not too far off. I was hoping this would be a joke and that he was going to say that that he saw the new Woody Allen. I gotta fix this video here. Give me a second, because it ruins the chat and I can't quite see it the way it's supposed to be. There. Now I can read it better. I was just going to say to the new Woody Allen, David Niven Casino Royale from the 60s. Yeah, well, that's a little different. You're right.
All right, quick question for you guys. When someone says, oh, dude, you absolutely have to see this movie in theaters, do you actually believe them? Or do you think that that term has kind of lost its magic?
It depends upon who I'm talking to. If I tell you that you should see a movie in the theater, guess what? You probably should. But if somebody else tells me, it's usually not those usually aren't the way the recommendations work. I mean, it sounds a little snooty, but okay.
It doesn't really mean what it used to mean, or I shouldn't say used to mean. It just doesn't mean what it sounds like it means. Because I think like it's lost its value. I honestly think that most people say it for every single movie that's out there. And I don't think every movie is necessarily a movie theater.
No, and I think I always am pretty honest of like going like, hey, you can skip this. You don't have to go see this in the theater. But, you know, yeah, Backrooms session, you don't have to see those in movie theaters. You could though, and it's maybe a little better. But some movies, like, you know, your big action stuff, you should, but you don't have to see everything.
Experience. I do think there are two reasons why you should go see movies in theaters, and that is one, spectacle, or two, cultural relevance. Spectacle is obviously a movie like Top Gun. You're going to get an action experience out of that. That's just something you're not going to get at home.
Wrong. My home theater experience is better than any theatrical experience that I could have gotten in Top Gun Maverick. Not even by a long shot. By a long shot, baby. By a long shot. Most movie theaters are absolute trash. Mine kicks the crap out of most multiplex theaters, pound for pound.
Because of how big and expansive it is. Or
yeah, real big. I have an 85-inch television, and my face is 7 feet away from it.
a horror movie either with the jump scares and stuff, because you're experiencing it with total strangers.
You do need that. That is correct.
That you can't get on your couch unless you bring in a total stranger into your house. But good luck on that. So you're experiencing it with a bunch of strangers, and there's a little bit of magic in that. Now, don't get me wrong. Any movie can fall under that category. Every single movie can fall under that category. So it really comes down to discerning taste. When should I say that a movie is actually, worth seeing in theaters?
It needs to be something that is memorable. It needs to be something that, to some degree, and you can define what this means, but something that moves you. And it needs to have some bit of spectacle to it, I would say.
Cultural relevance is an example is like Barbenheimer. I don't think Barbie or Oppenheimer are movies alone that were absolutely necessary to see in theaters. I know.
Really? Because I drove all the way to Atlanta to see Oppenheimer in 70 millimeters. So disagree.
I know Oppenheimer's like, it's an IMAX experience and it's Christopher Nolan. I don't care.
You should. It's different. That 70 millimeter IMAX, when that bad boy opens up 6 stories tall in there in Atlanta. Good Lord.
There was nothing in that movie that I absolutely needed to see on a big ass screen.
Those explosions and stuff were amazing. What are you talking about? And the sound? Come on.
I could have watched that at home.
No, you don't get that sound at home, baby. I know you don't. I mean, I do, but you don't.
Barbenheimer in itself is a cultural experience. You checked a box to say, I was there when Barbenheimer existed. I went and saw the people in outfits. I went and experienced it with everybody else that was.
Man, the amount of Minions kids I kicked out when that little craze came about. God, I hated that. God, I hated it. Little bastards all showing up in suits and stuff, being, little minion guys and whatnot. It's like, we are a bar. You cannot be here without parents.
Doing the Barbenheimer experience, right? Obsession is a great example of this as well. It's a YouTuber movie and it has this really low budget that's made so much money.
Well, that's a little disrespectful, but okay.
Those are two really interesting factors, but that's not why it's a cultural experience. It's
right. And that's not why the movie's good either.
Cultural experience because people are sharing it virally. People are going, dude, you have to see this movie in theaters. So it's become a cultural experience. People don't want to miss out on it because all their friends went and saw it in theaters, so they want to too. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of funny. And it's, like I said, you could.
It's funny, the word that you really wanted to use.
You could put any movie in that category or in either of those categories. and it'd be totally fine.
I love when people talk themselves out of their own argument.
Because any movie can really be a spectacle, but you just have to pick and choose and be discerning. I don't know. Am I crazy?
So at the end of the day, I really said nothing.
For thinking this, do you agree that we kind of just overuse that term? Dude, you have to see this in theaters. But tell me what you think. Anyways, I hope you have a fantastic night. Goose says good night.
Thanks, Goose.
Goose say good night. And I will see you guys all in the next video.
Good night, Goose. You have a good one, you Goosey McGoose or something. That's not a goose. That's a dog, sir. Poor fella. Maybe he's got like cataracts or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Know what I mean? Hey man, let me ask you a quick question. You been a dirty baby yet? You hit that like and subscribe button, have you? If you haven't, get on that. Get on it, damn it. All right, I'm gonna go turn the AC down. It's a little warm in the house. And refill a drink here. I'll be right back. So hold on. So while I'm doing that, you like and subscribe. What the fuck is going on here? Look at this. All right. All right. Are your pants back on? Your pants back on? Because they better be, damn it. We're going back in.
Dear AMC Theaters, if I am sitting in your theater, chances are I've heard of you. It's
I know where this is going.
also extremely likely that I've been with you before, and I will be with you again.
No, you need to be reminded yet again. You're at an AMC theater. We're going to show you 5 trailers for the place that you've already shown up to. You've paid a ticket, but let us remind you again that you are at the movies. If the big screen and giant speakers all around you did not inform you, let us now inform you that you are in an AMC theater. Here comes Nicole Kidman to tell you yet again that you're in a movie theater. You ever heard of a movie theater? Still got your phone out, don't you? You're still, what are we doing?
It's the dumbest shit in the world. I hate it. Hate it.
And while I do appreciate that message that you put before your movies, just for me, for being an AMC A-lister, you're welcome.
Oh my God. And then the assholes that stand up and take bows and go, you're welcome. I'm by the AMC, yes.
By the way, I do not need 4 ads telling me where I am currently.
It's ridiculous.
Thank you. Shout out to Nicole Kidman and my 4 free movies a week. Did you know that 2 tickets pays for itself?
Fuck Nicole Kidman. I'll say it. I'll put it right here on Front Street. Nicole Kidman, take a walk.
Grandpa Tim Burton still making stuff for 15-year-old Hot Topic kid.
Not for nothing, bro, but I while in spirit you may not necessarily be wrong, I will have to ask, who the are you, pal? Come on.
What do you think happened to Tim Burton? He used to be this weird, unique director with bizarre, interesting ideas. Now he feels very studio. Because he is so weird, quirky, and distinct, he kind of got away with it for a while without it being obvious that he's also a studio man. But you just kind of go back, and all along the way, he was doing generic studio projects.
No. He was doing the same movie.
He did Planet of the Apes 25 years ago. But, I think what happened, you have this very weird, eccentric, loner with a bunch of interesting ideas in his head, and he gets attention and he gets opportunities, and he keeps getting more opportunities because he's really talented, and he has something distinct, a fresh new voice. And then he gets Batman, and he puts out like the biggest movie of the year in a year of big movies, and he did it. People loved it.
Dude, you're gonna trip yourself and get hurt by walking up against a wire, you dumbass. Don't be stupid. You're walking into it. You're gonna mess everything up and hurt yourself. Come on. Come here. I'm trying not to get you hurt, you big dummy. Get it right, you big stupid goofus. Gosh.
And I think you just kind of always saw him teetering back and forth between the two things and trying to do his stop motion stuff and Edward Scissorhands and Sweeney Todd and then Alice in Wonderland.
Just say it's not for you. I mean, I get it, but like, you know, you're coming off very dude bro-y here.
When you're young, you're a lot edgier and you'll achieve something amazing, but you also know what it costs to do that. And you get older and you're not as interested in paying the cost. You don't have as many fresh ideas. You get set in your ways. Your neural pathways get locked in.
Again, I got to ask, what do you do, sir? What do you do? It's curious. You seem to have a very strong opinion, but like, what are you doing out there?
Combine all those things and you just don't have that edge. You don't have the eagerness. What does Tim Burton have to prove anymore? He
doesn't. He hasn't had to prove anything in 20 plus years. What are you talking about?
Almost 70 years old. And your thing is goth emo stuff that Hot Topic kids love.
Just be jealous of the man, okay? Just be jealous of the man and the success that he's had, and he within writing a particular theme. Yeah, I think you're going to need a little bit of peanut butter to go with that jelly, pal.
Before Hot Topic existed. How do you do that when you're 70? You're grandpa. Grandpa Tim Burton still making stuff.
Motherfucker, look at you. You are like 57 years old. What are you talking about? Other people, like, you are teetering on grandpa yourself here, my friend. There's differences is he's a multimillionaire.
For 15-year-old Hot Topic kids. And how
again, maybe 15-year-old Hot Topic kids 20 years ago, but like, again, even your references are dated, old man.
Much does he have his finger on the pulse of angsty teenagers?
Motherfucker, do you? You're over here talking about Hot Topic kids like it's 2006.
And college kids and 20-year-olds at 70 years old. So I just think it's all of that.
Homie got so much gray in his beard, he don't know what he's doing. It's leaked into his brain. He looks like a Baldwin brother. Don't juice him up. Don't juice him up. He don't need that. He don't need that. You look like Stephen Baldwin.
Do people know people hate Chris Hansen? I saw the trailer for Primetime, the brand new film with Robert Pattinson, directed by Lance Oppenheim, about Chris Hansen of How to Catch a Predator fame, and it really made me think that more people should check out the 2025 documentary Predators. Now let's start with the baseline here. Nobody wants to see children harmed except for the people harming children, right?
Yeah, okay. It sounds like you're about to start giving excuses for people harming children, but I'm going to give you the benefit of a doubt here.
That is something that we can all agree on. But when it comes to the critiques about Chris Hansen or How to Catch a Predator, which most people don't know only lasted 20 episodes, Chris Hansen did other television shows. In some ways, it glorifies that these crimes are taking place. In some ways,
it glorifies them? What the fuck are you on?
It ignores the fact that some of these crimes are happening within people's homes. In some case, it doesn't recognize the fact that some of these people clearly need treatment or clearly are not well. And
again, no one's going, oh, these are pillars of society, or these are, but they're you know, you can argue whether it's televised or not and stuff like that. But like, again, you're really starting to get to that spot where you're just like, frankly, defending would-be pedophiles.
By pushing them through the criminal justice system, that is not really doing anything to fix any of these issues. And obviously,
yeah, it is. It's getting them off of the streets. It's luring them in, the people that would do it, and busting them. I'm sorry. That's to quote Bernie Sanders, that's a good thing.
when it comes to the modern day, we're seeing all these copycats everywhere. And
I don't think all of that stuff. Now that's a different story. Those guys that do a lot of those things, and because a lot of those dudes are just in it to actually harass people. And I want these people brought to justice, not to just be harassed and humiliated on the internet. And while that's fine, I want the legal system to go through and charge these people and get these people off the street instead of, just big giant dudes living out power fantasies of them, being police officers without actually being any kind of actual, law enforcement.
Having a conversation with someone I know, and you can't deny that Chris Hansen is connected to all of this, right? There is a reason why some victims really do not like him. It is very fair to tell their stories, or very fair to critique who he is or how he did all this.
Who are the victims that we're talking about in this situation? The people that got caught trying to have relations with underage children? Those victims? Is that what we're talking about? I'm telling you, you're skating on thin ice here, bucko.
Obviously, we want kids to be okay, and in some cases,
obviously we want them to be okay, but we want to let some of these pedophiles go. What the fuck?
Cases, I think he did help children, but in other cases, he perpetuated this harm in a very different way than some people are willing to examine.
Oh my God, somebody's simping for the wow, that's crazy, dog.
And from some of the clear shots that we're seeing in this trailer, where some people are pointing out that Robert Pattinson looks like a predator, he's hunting people down, or there's something clearly going on here.
Yeah, you should hunt down people that prey on children. Yes. You should hunt those people down, and I'll say it. Escort them out, as it were. That's what I'll say. Yeah, those people should be escorted off.
That is more than meets the eye. I think we're ending up with a far more critical examination of Chris Hansen than most people are prepared for, and honestly, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's very needed, and I think Robert Pattinson is the one actor who I trust doing a story like this.
Oh my God. Well, what are you going to suck his dick through the screen as well? What's happening here? Oh my God. If I trust anybody to do it, it's Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson just said yes to a script. Get out of here. So pretentious.
I just don't believe that anybody is a draw enough outside of, I guess, Nicole Kidman.
Don't even get me started on Nicole.
It's Matt Jones, everybody. You know him from Breaking Bad and a whole bunch of other stuff. Character actor du jour.
But even there, it's like, when is... there's this...
I say du jour. I meant extraordinaire. I apologize.
Clip around of Richard Kind telling this story of these people going to a rich person's
I'm Richard Kind.
House and looking around and be like, wow, he has everything. And one guy going, yeah, but he doesn't have what I have. And he goes, oh, what is that? And he's like, enough. I have enough. And I just want to be like, hey, Nicole, when is it enough?
Yeah, you're gonna do 11 TV shows and an AMC ad, and you're gonna are you?
Because I can name you 50 women between the age of 40 and I don't know her roles.
She's 70. She's damn near 70 at this point, ain't she?
40 and 50 years old.
We'll call her 60. She's 60. She's 60.
I mean,
I was memeing on the 70. She's like 60.
Depends how many pharmaceuticals she's had in her face.
Right.
Yeah.
So I could name you 50 women who are spectacularly talented and experienced.
And don't look like an absolute freak show. Face looks like it's in a wind tunnel.
I could use those series regular jobs.
Yeah.
That you are taking from people because you need to be on 8 shows at once. And I can say the same about her, Stanley Tucci. There's a lot of people out there that's like, when is it enough, guys? I know.
Yes, I agree with that.
You like to be working all the time and you don't.
And you got a fucking CNN show. You know what I mean?
And I know you don't want to be home with your families, but I
know you hate your families, but you give some work to the rest of us.
I know people who are struggling, who are series regulars last year or 2 years ago, who will take 1/10 of your salary and want to work, and they can't because of you. Sorry. I think I'm gonna get on my high horse.
Let's do it, baby. You know let's talk about this because it's important. I don't know if you listened to the episode. I had Kirk.
I've listened to your show. Yeah.
Okay. So
also I have to say I appreciate this because there's a big thing in our industry where we used to go into a room together and audition. I'm not talking about me and the cast director. I'm talking about I sat in a waiting room with 12 other guys who were roughly like me. and there was a community.
Yeah.
And I never see those people anymore.
And you made friends.
Yes.
Some of my best friends I made it. And I would crash auditions. They'd like, come with me. You know what I mean?
I would see someone like, God, so many people. There's Thomas Middleditch, and I used to audition for stuff. I love when Thomas gets a role. I root for him, right? I root for people. Like, it's not just about me. I want all of us to be working.
But when you have a couple of people who are seemingly getting all of these major roles and stuff like that, and minor roles for that matter, like, does Stanley Tucci need to be playing the announcer guy in the Hunger Games? I don't think so.
Tim Simons all the time. When they get a role, I'm like, I love it. I love that. I love seeing those guys on TV.
Yeah.
I think it's good for all of us because they're good.
Okay.
We don't see each other anymore. So this kind of podcast, I appreciate it because I get to at least hear it's some kind of community of people talking about what's going on.
Hey, Matt, if you ever want to get on this podcast and talk some of the industry stuff and how the industry itself needs to be fixed, you are more than welcome to come on Half-Ass Movie Podcast, sir.
This tweet said it sucks when comic book movies show comic accurate outfits and then say, aren't you glad we didn't do that?
No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Not only is it an unnecessary pot shot at the source material, the suits end up actually looking good sometimes. I know my nigga vision.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They look good for what they're doing, which is portraying this thing. But at the end of the day, these are corny. And they work good in comic books, but they don't work well in real life.
He's wearing basketball shorts and a Party City cape. As far as comic accurate outfits goes, Wanda looks pretty fucking good. With a little more time and budget put into it, could have legit just had a Scarlet Witch costume from...
Right, but it wouldn't look like that. It would look like what she wore. It's the same thing. But like the more that they go in it, the more that you're going to be pissed that it's not the same thing. So it's a lose-lose situation. You cannot win.
The comics. Instead of whatever the fuck this is with more unnecessary lines on it than a mirror at...
And that's how they've all been. Like, you just got to get used to it. It is what it is. And if you don't like it, just, make your own shit.
Bruno Mars's house. Like, apparently there was a scene of the Fantastic Four rocking their original outfits. While I don't hate the suits from Fantastic Four First Steps, again, with a little more love and attention, this could have looked fucking gangster.
Maybe, but maybe not.
Like, again, Cap's suit isn't that bad.
That looks pretty bad, dude. It looked pretty bad, but when he got to the real one... Nah, the one in the Avengers, I ain't going to count on that one. That one fucking sucks. But the one he had at the end of the first Avenger, that's rad. That one works. That one's amazing. But the one in the Avengers sucks. Big downgrade for that one in the Avengers. Ugh.
As if this suit were any better. It looks...
Again, that's a different movie, though. I blame Joss Whedon for that.
It's like he's wearing his dad's helmet.
I hate it.
I want to go on the fly. Like, this scene in The Incredible Hulk made it feel like they were saving us from a fate worse than death.
It did. And it was, and they did.
But purple pants are like the least egregious offender of superhero costumes. But the biggest offender of this were the Netflix series.
Listen, I didn't mind that one. I didn't.
They had Iron Fist in his mask and then just street clothes for the rest of the series.
Well, because it's a silly mask. But like, it again, you had to go like Daredevil, and like, you can't have him wearing the mask the whole damn time, especially in season 1. Come on now.
Same goes for Luke Cage, but I'm glad they didn't go with this outfit.
Oh, all of a sudden you don't like that out. You don't like the Power Man outfit? Come on. How about you stop being a baby and commit? Oh, commit to the bit, my friend, except for when this guy comes up in his little outfit. You don't like that?
Having the realest nigga in comics wear a tiara never really sat right with me.
Come on now, he the king.
Jessica Jones's Jewel outfit, and a brief appearance from Hellcat. But this tweet points out the one exception to the rule being Spider-Man, who for the most part has avoided the tactical outfits the MCU tries to do, just because Sam Raimi knocked it out of the gate with the first suit.
Well, I'll tell you this one. Yes and no. It's good. The best suit is probably the new one, even despite all of the kind of mechanical things like that. The eyes are big, and the eyes, like, they need to be big. They worked in a way to have them move, and frankly, I don't even think you need to have that way. I think they could and should just move by themselves, a la Deadpool and stuff like that. So...
But even at its most tactical with the Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit, it's still more or less his actual costume. And then they immediately course corrected to give him the best Spider-Man costume in live action.
Yeah, it's the best looking. Look at how good that is. Look at that. Now, again, if the eyes moved on this one, it would have been perfect. Perfect. Except for maybe the spider's a little too elongated for my taste. But yeah, that's you know.
But you would think by now these studios would have learned their lessons about comic accurate outfits, because even though it's not one-to-one, Deadpool's outfit is pretty damn close, hence why it's so well received. When Jason Momoa walked out in the actual Aquaman outfit, I couldn't believe how good it looked in live action. And again, I'll be the first person to shit on the Snyderverse, but outside of the endless speed ramping, on a visual level, it was never bad, and that includes the costume.
The costume was good looking. Ain't no doubt about that.
And even though I prefer the direction of the DCU, I don't fuck with these costumes as utility shit.
What? This one's good.
That James Gunn is on. Now I've activated the MCU sycophants. It's not an overcomplicated design. You're just too simple to get it. But the reason this happens is because the MCU and its fans just look down on the source material and think it's shitty. They both view Marvel as a movie company that just happens to make comics, as opposed to a comic company which is the heart and soul of their multi-billion-dollar franchise.
Was. Comics don't sell shit anymore. The movies are sell more tickets than comics sell issues, but even that's starting to dry up. So, you know, even round 2 is about to be going.
But what do the comics know? I mean, the MCU's only crumbling a decade and change into its existence. Whereas,
are you kidding me? DC's on a boycott right now. People, I don't fucking know why. They're just, you know, something.
The comics have remained relevant for decades, producing some of the most timeless designs of all time and characters that have transcended generations. But, you know, whatever.
It is whatever. They don't care. They never really actually cared. That's your problem, is that you think that they cared. Silly goose.
I was making art in preparation for Half-Life Alyx coming out, and then when Alyx came out, I started trying to figure out how I could rip the assets from that and make little scenes. I wasn't using like sourced like Filmmaker for anything, so I was using Blender instead, because I was sort of allured by like the tutorials by filmmaker Ian Hubert and stuff.
Okay. This is Kane Parsons, directors of Backrooms, and 20 years old here. And if you haven't put it together, he is somewhere on the spectrum. That's how he's so good. He's like, if you're over here at 19 years old rocking on Blender and doing stuff like that, you got a little of the, you got a little tism.
I was seeing at the time, and he sort of sold me on like, this looks fast and easy and awesome. And for those who don't know, he has a sort of tutorial gimmick style that did very well on YouTube, sort of like these lazy tutorials where he would just like spend a minute rapid fire going through how to make something, and it just made it feel so approachable and fun, because he's fun and approachable, I think.
Yeah, and there's way like, that's how like Todd McFarlane's art kind of got me, is like there was this VHS of Todd at like San Diego Comic-Con back in the day, like doing this kind of drawing demonstration and stuff like that. And he just like, I don't know, it was just something about the way that Todd would kind of come through and like very loosely just kind of show you how stuff was done, and like it seemed easy, and he would just do like a lot of like little voices and stuff while he was just drawing, just going pop 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 to one of these. It doesn't really matter, doesn't this? Like, and it just showed you how like, it was all just kind of like drawing was kind of like improv and figuring stuff out as they go, and just kind of feeling where things go.
I've never talked to him, but I'd love to. And I think that like I found that to be pretty true. It's like I found it to be mostly I've never been much of a learning for like training the trade just to train it. Like it's usually been like I want to make a specific thing, or like I have a notion of a thing I want to make. Initially it was that Half-Life stuff, and then everything I learn is kind of like I'll watch tutorials, but then as soon as I think I roughly have an idea of how to kind of guerrilla style go get what I want in Blender, I'll go as far as I can, and then if I run into a wall, I'll search online for an answer. So I think it's that kind of like project-based learning I was using quite a bit. And then of course it helps that there's a million answers to anything you can run into online, either with people who are already established creators themselves putting out like resources online like Ian, or just Reddit, Discord servers, just other people in the same boat who you can have real-time conversations with.
He's telling you right here, everybody, Your excuses for not making something are over. They're done. We have such a, comparatively cheap and easy and, almost damn near free way of just putting stuff together these days. Just do it. Just do it. I mean, this kid did it. Why can't you do it?
So, I think it was like, I take it for granted a little bit because growing up on YouTube, you always see channels like Quarter Crew and stuff who are, so VFX driven that it feels approachable and it feels normalized. But I think it's really kind of been like the vector through which I've kind of propelled all of my filmmaking.
Very cool.
Is it a problem that Obsession has the same rating on Letterboxd as Citizen Kane?
No, because Letterboxd is arbitrary as shit. What are you talking about?
This person pointed out Obsession and Citizen Kane have the same rating on Letterboxd at 4.2.
And again, when you're looking at just a 5-star rating system, you're going to get into like real. It's too much. Come on, what are you talking about? Like there's way too many factors involved.
On an app that's about rating movies, this really doesn't mean anything. This doesn't mean Obsession is as important to film history as Citizen Kane, and these movies shouldn't even be compared to one another. Another movie from this year has a higher rating than Citizen Kane, but it would sound silly to compare Project Hail Mary to Citizen Kane. So even this conversation feels a little bit ridiculous because not all ratings.
I love when they just go like, "Oh yeah, by the way, the entire premise of this video is bullshit anyway."
Ratings are created equal.
Jeez Louise, what a piece of shit. Have you ever fished for trouser trout? I don't have the same job as your mother. Come on, pal.
I'm telling you that they have been lying to you about Mandalorian and Grogu. They just been.
What have been lying about? I ain't heard no lies. I don't believe lies. I'm not a lying believer.
Lying to you the entire time. The entire promotion team and production, everything.
I ain't know nothing about the movie, save for the fact that it was Star Wars. I watched a teaser trailer and I, the one time there and then forgot about it. So, I wasn't swayed by any kind of marketing or anything. What are you talking about? No one lied to me.
Has been lying to you about this movie because it is not really a movie.
Oh, fuck. One of these. Here we go.
It is 2 episodes.
No, it's not.
Of The Mandalorian and Grogu. Or
first of all, most of those episodes are not, the amount of, are not an hour long. So you're wrong there.
The Mandalorian. You can even tell halfway through the middle when it starts slowing down.
They fade out for a second, and then that's when the new episode would be starting. You know what I mean?
When the next episode is supposed to take place. It's essentially a 2-parter. It's a 2-parter, and
I made up my mind about this movie before I even went in, and I thought I've got a preconceived notion, and wouldn't you know it, my preconceived notion was right. It looks just. And it doesn't. You don't know what you're talking about. The movie, it looks way better. It's not just the show. Trust me, I was looking for just the show. I thought the scenario that you're feeding us now would be the scenario that we would see in the movie. And that was not there. It just wasn't.
Season episode, and I like it. I liked it a lot because not only was it extremely.
Now he's saying he liked it.
High end, they snuck in a lot of lore about Star Wars, especially the direction that it's going. A lot of Imperial stuff and Mando working with the New Republic, and we get a lot of that intricacy going on. We get a lot of that in there, so I actually really
do we though
liked it a lot. I love the fact that they brought in Clone Wars again, showing just some stories from Clone Wars that we hadn't seen in a very long time. But the action, it was just action-packed, blasters and action the entire way, which made it more obvious when it kind of started simmering down. You could tell that this was supposed to be 2 episodes.
No, you're wrong.
I think people that had Disney...
If anything, you probably could actually say this could be 4 episodes if you knew where to cut properly. Because we have several different major location changes and stuff like that. You can divide it even further. So you don't even know how to do that bit right.
Plus, that pay for Disney Plus, should have gotten like a $5 discount on watching this movie, because this movie absolutely is
that would have been an interesting ploy for Disney, to be quite honest.
Exactly what one of the episodes is. It literally is just that.
No,
not much depth to it at all.
It looks way better. The cinematography is better. The plotting is better. That third season was practically all volume, dude. They actually produced sets and stuff in this movie. They used a little bit of volume too, but the sets were, come on, this is way better.
I don't think it needed it, but it's a fun ride. If you're a Star
He just doesn't want to tell people that he likes the mainstream shit.
Wars fan, I think you're gonna like it. I think this is exactly what Star Wars needs. I think after Rise of Skywalker, we just stop getting lore heavy and just show fun stories that are lived in the universe with a little bit of, with a side of lore.
That is what we've always been saying. H&P has constantly been saying, you just need, mostly Star Wars kind of vibe and feel and everything, and maybe a little bit of wink back to the old stuff, and that's about it. I can't stand the fact that The Mandalorian Grogu had multiple acts or episodes. Clearly he's making fun of him. But yeah, it's like, yeah, this... I've even seen Mando and Grogu twice now, and I didn't count the second time, but I would say there's about 5 acts of this thing altogether, really. What's next?
Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair is finally coming to home video,
and I have already made my pre-order. I pre-ordered that because it's Lionsgate limited, so who knows how limited it is. I feel like they want to sell a whole bunch. They did sell out of the Kill Bill VHS tape in like one day. I didn't want that. I wasn't going to pay $60 for a Kill Bill VHS. Suck it. No way.
I'm a big fan of sequels that just seamlessly transition between each other. Rocky 1 and 2 do a great job of it, but then time does pass a little bit. Same with the Karate Kid movies. I love that the second one starts in the parking lot, but again, some time does pass.
Those are cool when it's just like, when it kind of like picks up right where you left off and you're right back in the game again. And it's like, oh no, we're rolling now.
Once the movie gets going. But I'm talking like, I like the seamless action, like nothing stops. Phantasm does a great job of it. Part 2 starts, a little bit of time has passed since part 1, but part 2 goes right into part 3, which goes right into part 4. It's just too good. And then part 5 kind of screws everything about Phantasm up. But that's what I want. I want to watch I want to spend hours and hours, days in a movie theater watching a seamless 8-hour, 10-hour movie.
The answer for you is Lone Wolf and Cub. That's right. You can sit in a movie theater and watch, I believe it's 6 films in a row that are pretty much were shot all just about in order because they had to be, because the kid stays pretty much the same age the entire time. So your answer for this is Lone Wolf and Cub. You're welcome.
Obviously you could do it with the Lord of the Rings. We talked about Evil Dead 2. You could cut up all 3 of those first movies and make one seamless epic film. And then obviously the one I haven't mentioned yet, that it's the perfect example, is Back to the Future. Each movie just rolls into the next. It's too bad that they change out actresses. It's the only little bump in the road.
Isn't it though? It's the only like
But I think the one that we can all agree we want to see is the end of Shawshank Redemption, where they meet up again on the beach, and then they open Club Paradise together.
Terrible.
Top 10 Blumhouse-produced movies. And if you don't like what I like, you can argue with the wall Blair Witch style.
Ooh, all right. Top Blumhouse films. What you got for us, Pat?
At number 10, I have The Visit. This is M. Night Shyamalan's comeback film.
Very, very good. A very good one. It was that comeback film that we were just like, oh man, what are we doing with M. Night Shyamalan? We got him back down to basics. We said, we got $5 million. Use your brain and not your budget. And he put together for us a fine found footage film.
In a lot of ways. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to recreate this magic moving forward. A great found footage film. Speaking of found footage, I have Paranormal.
Yes! Correctamundo. Number 3 is the best Paranormal Activity movie.
Activity 3 in my 9 spot. Not only a great found footage film, but it also doubles as a low-key great witch coven story as well. At number 8, I have The Green Inferno.
I was not a big fan of The Green Inferno, but fair. Okay.
Really delivers on its promise of an even gnarlier and gorier homage to Cannibal Holocaust.
God, I wish it was better. I wish it was so much better. I was really hoping for something with Green Inferno, and I was just like, that's all we got? Okay.
Only minus the animal cruelty. At number 7, I have Ouija Origin of Evil.
That one's good. Ouija, not good. Ouija 2, good. I don't know. Doesn't make no damn sense. But Ouija 2, better than Ouija 1. Ouija 1 was fine. Ouija 2, fucking great.
Sequel nobody asked for to a paint-by-numbers horror movie nobody watched. But
Exactly. But that was our Film Find days, man. We watched Ouija and we were just like, man, whatever. Ouija 2 comes out. I was like, shit, that was good.
This is directed by Mike Flanagan, and it is...
Oh, that's right. That's why it was good. I totally forgot.
Is my go-to recommendation of movies that you don't know that you will love. Number 6, I have David Gordon Green's Halloween
I like it. I don't care what nobody says.
Reboot from 2018. I think people forget, because this trilogy sort of went off the rails, that this is actually one of the best entries in the Halloween franchise. And Michael Myers at arguably his most brutal. At number 5, I have Upgrade.
Upgrade's so much fun.
A sci-fi body horror movie directed by Lee Wanell that's all gas and absolutely no break. Sinister is on a very short list of the scariest movies of the 2000s.
Pretty good all the way up to that last jump scare shot at the end. I hated that. It damn near ruined it for me.
It's like this, Hereditary, Terrified. I don't know. It's in really good company is what I'm trying to say. All right, here's my top 3.
Oh, God, no. Wouldn't even make my top 15.
In a lot of ways, Blumhouse is the house that James Wan built, and no greater example than Insidious. A perfect movie for all ages, which is rare and far and few between. Number 2, I have Obsession. I had to let this one marinate a little bit, but after thinking about it, it really is one of the best horror movies of the 2020s.
It's up there. It's real good.
But I think all roads lead to Get Out. It's the Jordan Peele coming out party, and a perfect blend of horror and comedy, when done right, makes for a perfect theater-going experience.
I think Get Out is a really great movie. Own it. Own it. I do. It's overrated. It's a very good movie, but it is very overrated. See, that's how you do overrated, kids. That's an overrated movie. Still a good movie, but overrated.
Robert Kirkman made his fame and fortune on Walking Dead, not because they paid him a lot of money on Walking Dead. It's because he had 190 plus issues to reprint across the globe over and over and over in different formats.
And the best part about that here is that Robert Kirkman owns the rights to that. Image just kind of distributes these things out there. Robert Kirkman still owns his stuff. That was the cool part about Image, is that we weren't, your comic isn't fattening the pockets of Image. Image doors still will stay open, but you are going to be the beneficiary of your art, which was very important. And a lot of artists have made a lot of money working over at Image on account of things like that.
Yeah. So the work was already done. It was just, how am I going to stack it? But that's the home run. This is the piece that keeps.
This is Todd McFarlane, by the way, for those of you that don't know. We mentioned him earlier in the show. Oh, wait. I saw it earlier today, and I meant to grab it. I saw this. This is a shirt that I got in 1995. This Spawn T-shirt from 1995. There it is. I got the little Spawn symbol there in the back. Spawn up front, and about damn near impossible to see it, but Todd McFarlane's autograph was right there in that little splotchy area right there. But yeah, I met Todd McFarlane. We've got a whole bunch of comics signed by Todd McFarlane. One of my favorite artists of all time. Probably maybe number 2, right behind Jim Lee. He was a nice guy. It was like kind of at the height of his powers there in Spawn in 1995. So it was a good time.
Saying that's the home run, because when Robert Kirkman is 70 or 80, he is still going to be making money off those books.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even, I keep calling it like pajama money, whatever. You don't even have to get out of your pajamas, because somebody's just going to say, hey, can I make a video game of this? Can I make a hat of this? Can I make a shirt of this? Or you're going to make a trade paperback of work already done.
And it's just printing money, dude. Just printing money.
Like making a DVD of a movie, right? All the hard work was done. They made a movie, and now the DVD division gets to go.
And that's the reason why I chose this video for TikTok Trash Tuesday, because I didn't want to do it initially because most of it is about comic books. But Todd's mentioning it right here. And again, this is another reason why studios are so freaking stupid, dude. Oh, we're just going to put it to our streaming service. You dumb morons. You stupid, stupid simpletons. Do you know how many times we bought something on VHS, then we bought it on DVD, then we bought it on Blu-ray, then we bought it on 4K? That is 4 times. And maybe you were somebody who bought Laserdisc or Betamax even within that, or maybe even what was the Philips CD Go or whatever the fuck that thing was called. So you're looking at bare minimum 4 to 5 different versions of this that you sold to another customer, to a singular customer, like a douchebag like me, who would buy all of these things in a row. And yet you've taken that away now. You've taken more revenue away from your, you could continue to recycle this. How many copies of Evil Dead are there on DVD? How many versions of it are there out there? Because you can just keep reprinting and making money, man. Come on.
We'll just make a copy of it and sell it. Yeah. Thanks. Cool. And
it's like they're throwing away their own earning potentials. It's just so stupid. Again, I say it all the time. Hollywood will die by its own hand.
He'll be able to do that till the day he dies because of the fruits of his labor, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I don't get money off of Spider-Man. A little bit from Marvel and DC for doing stuff with them, and it's okay, but nothing like
owning your own.
Like owning your own and it working.
And being that long.
Oh, yeah. Right?
What's next?
The practical effects in this movie still hold up better than most CGI today.
I saw this and I was like, okay, can I guess the movie before Mike does? Boy, oh boy, if you want to get me in kind of a game mood, you got me. Let's go. Let's see what we got.
Clue number 1: an American research team in Antarctica.
It's The Thing. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. All I got, research team, Antarctica. Your answer's The Thing.
Discovers a craft that has been buried in the ice for 100,000 years.
You didn't give a year?
1980.
You need a year! I got it in 3 words.
Me too. You're right. I didn't give the year on this one.
The Thing.
Yes, you got it. Hey.
You, it's so fucking easy. What do you... Maybe they get harder.
Hey, you know what? It's funny because I got a comment the other day on one of our things about, well, why do you give the other clues if they already got it the first time? It's like, because some people just want to know what the other clues were going to be. All right, so clue number 2 would have been paranoia consumes the base. When they realize the organism they found can perfectly imitate any living thing it touches. And then clue 3 was a high-stakes blood test.
You hear that? What?
Involving a hot wire and a flamethrower.
Kurt Russell was the man in that movie.
Listen, jeez. If you're going to play the game, you need to make it a little bit more difficult than that. Man, the Spirit Halloween is getting a little bit out of control, and earlier than ever this year, I'd say. Why can't Julia sleep at night? I just can't put my finger on it. Bread's here. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh, what are we getting for Halloween this year? Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Giant demon that's eating children. Wow. Oh my God. That's horrific. Imagine this place and just the cacophony of noise. Oh my God, fuck that. Oh, look, it's a member of Slipknot. I'll take the Slipknot animatronic, please. Oh, this is just a stripper. Maxine is hot in the truck.
What's a better comedy, 40-Year-Old Virgin or Beverly Hills Cop?
Okay. I'm going to say Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah.
40-Year-Old Virgin.
40-Year-Old Virgin or Billy Madison?
Billy Madison.
40-year-old.
Yeah, okay. We're starting to figure out someone's age.
40-Year-Old Virgin or Friday?
She's going to say 40-year-old virgin. She hasn't seen Friday.
Friday.
But 40-year-old virgin's better than that. Okay, then okay. All right, so you're using all right. I see what you're doing now.
Friday or White Chicks?
Oh boy. If you say White Chicks, you need to be launched to another dimension.
Man, it depends on the mood and what's in my drink.
Yeah, it depends on how fucked up I am because I ain't watching White Chicks sober. I'll tell you that much.
I'm gonna give it to Friday.
Friday or Step Brothers?
Step Brothers way better than Friday. Come on now.
Friday.
Friday or Waterboy?
Waterboy's better.
Friday.
Friday or Napoleon?
This girl ain't doing nothing but right. Napoleon Dynamite better.
Napoleon Dynamite.
I mean, I'd push. That's a push. It's a push.
That stupid movie. Napoleon Dynamite, but that's just me.
Napoleon Dynamite or Coming to America?
Coming to America. Come on now.
Impossible. Coming to America.
Coming to America or Tropic Thunder?
Tropic Thunder is way better. Come on.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder or Don't Be a Menace?
Tropic Thunder is better than Don't Be a Menace. Don't care.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder or Scary Movie?
Tropic Thunder is better than Scary Movie. I'll say it loud and I'll say it proud. Better parody movie.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder or Blue Streak?
Tropic Thunder all day. Come on, Blue Streak.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder or Life?
Tropic Thunder. Come on.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder or Anchorman?
Tropic Thunder 10 times over.
Anchorman.
Fuck you! No!
Anchorman or Ace Ventura?
Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura or Superbad?
I'm going to say something controversial to 90s kids. I'm going to go Superbad. I like Ace Ventura well enough. It's just, it is a product of its time. And I don't mean the jokes that, some people might not like. I like those jokes. I think those jokes are funny. But it's a 90s movie. It's a very low budget 90s Jim Carrey, and it's all right.
Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura or Bad Boys 2?
Bad Boys 2.
Ace.
Ace Ventura or Rush Hour?
Rush Hour.
Tough, but Ace.
Ace Ventura or The Hangover?
Ace Ventura. Come on.
Ace.
Would you say Ace Ventura is the greatest comedy of all
No.
time?
Of course not.
Blazing Saddles is the answer to that, everybody.
What would you say is top 3?
Oh my goodness. Well, we talked about this.
All right. Top 3. Blazing Saddles is number 1. Blazing Saddles is the funniest movie of all time. I don't think there's any. It's tough. Young Frankenstein, I'm probably put number 2. I'm sorry, they're both Mel Brooks films, but it is what it is. The third funny, I think you might could put Tropic Thunder in there as a possibility. It's a possibility.
It's just a little bit ago. I like the classics, so it would be Blazing
The classic.
Saddles. It would be Young Frankenstein.
What?
And then probably The Party.
Oh my God! I might marry this girl. The Party? Who fucking says that? That is amazing. Birdie, Num Num, Poof. Oh my Lord. Oh, okay. All right.
From like 1968, starting Peter Sellers.
Yeah.
Some old school ball knowledge right there.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. She went up a notch in my book. All right.
I mean, is it ball? Let's wait for the comments.
No, 100% ball, girl. You know you ball. You bringing out an old Peter Sellers movie where he plays an Indian? Get out of here, bro. That's great.
Appreciate you.
See, MVD agrees, man. She jumped up to legendary status with that one. Unreal, dude. I love it. I was waiting to just be like, oh, same old, same old, same old. And the old girl jumps in with The Party. Damn. Oh my God. No, man. She put Ace Ventura over like Rush Hour and shit like that. I don't know if I could really, like she made a good decision there at the end. She pulled it out. Like that one guy she had us fooled in the first half, right? She came around. That's okay. All right, we're getting to the end. Thank God. This was a long time. I had a lot of videos this week, and I cut some of the ones that were extremely long out, by the by.
So this movie theater just straight up lied. So I just got back from a mystery movie Monday at my...
How did they lie to you? It's a mystery movie. You don't know nothing going about it going in and stuff, so how's it a lie?
Local marquee cinemas. And every once a month they do a mystery movie. It's only $5. They show you the runtime right here.
Love it. Love this idea.
Here, hour 34 minutes, rated R. They don't tell you what the movie is, but they tell you the runtime and the...
That's the fun part of it. It's like, here's what it is, and come on in.
Rating. So the runtime said rated R, hour 34 minutes. I'm thinking it has
to... this little poor son of a bitch.
To be the new scary movie, right? Like rated R.
It's usually not a preview of a movie that's going to make a lot of money. It's usually an early screening of a movie that they don't suspect is going to make a lot of money, but they suspect if it got enough word, could probably make a little bit more money. So what they do is this is essentially like a test screening, if you will, that you pay for, that if it is good and it does do well, you'll talk about it on the internet. And then when it comes out wider, say maybe almost a month later, it'll get more views and stuff because people will go, oh, remember when these people saw this? Or when it comes out on VOD, they're more likely to watch it that way. But this is not done to give you a preview of Scary Movie before everybody else. So you came into this with the wrong expectations.
Hour 35 minutes, close enough. It has to be, right?
No.
No.
Why did you think that? Is it because you're dumb? It's okay.
Turns out it was a rated R kung fu movie called The Furious, which...
Oh, so you got an awesome kung fu movie and you got a little bit angry because you didn't get to see a movie before everyone. Why did you think that was going to happen? Has it ever happened to any of the other mystery movies? The answer to that is no. So why would it happen here?
Comes out June 12th, and it was an hour and 53 minutes, almost 20 minutes.
Oh no.
Minutes more than the mystery time set.
Oh no, you got more than what you bargained for, but it wasn't what you thought it was going to be, poor fella. And for $5, fuck, that must have put you back some, huh? Gosh, you didn't get popcorn too, did you?
That was going to be. I'm actually kind of glad they lied because the movie itself was actually insane, like in the best way possible. It was over the top kung fu movie.
You stupid idiot. You complain about it being not the thing that you wanted it to be, but in fact, you got exactly what you needed. unbelievable. Unbelievable. You can't please them all. You know what I'm saying? Holy.
It's about a revenge story about a father's daughter gets kidnapped. He has to go find her. There's so many good action sequences. The movie, you think it's going to end, then there's another half an hour of action. There's this guy with an arrow. I won't even spoil it. It's just insane, over the top. I think it's the best action movie this year by a pretty big margin.
This is why they do this. This is what they do. They say, you would not have gone to see this. But when you do, you go, oh my gosh, this is great. And that is why we need, less trailers and more people just walking in and taking a chance on movies. And this also proves it that if it's done at a cheap enough level, $5 in this case, he's willing to go to a movie that he doesn't even know what the movie is. That's the power of cheap cinema. You'll even go to a movie where you don't know what it is. Bring back cheap prices to movies and watch movie attendance skyrocket. You dumbasses don't know what you're doing. It's simple supply and demand business. There's no demand right now. Bring the price down. Demand will end up going up because people will want to do it because it's cheap and inexpensive, which is what movies were supposed to be in the first place. Why we can't figure this out, it's beyond me.
So yeah, Scary Movie turns out to suck. I'm going to be happy it was this. Either way, I'm glad I saw this. It might be one of my favorite movies of the year so far, which is crazy. Our whole theater was like laughing in parts you weren't supposed to be laughing.
Oh, I bet you were supposed to be laughing. They're just our humor stuff. That's how these movies kind of work.
It was just outrageous, over the top, just action, kung fu. So good.
Hell yeah, I'm probably going to go see it now on account of your review, young man. So good for you.
So yeah, definitely check out The Furious June 12th when it comes out. Scary Movie comes out this week. I guess I'm watching that Thursday or this weekend.
They got you, bitch. You're going to have to go pay for that one. Full price. As soon as I realized the trailer for Evil Dead Burn was playing just before I saw Backrooms, I closed my eyes. Now, I will say this, MVD. I watched the full trailer, and it is nothing. I don't know why I continue, because all rights, I should have done that exact same thing. And normally that I would, but it's one shot and just chaos is happening. You have zero idea. It's not really clear, and I don't want to see nothing else. But that was one where I was just like, okay, whatever this is. And to me, that's how you do a trailer, is you just have this horrible thing going on. You're like, what the hell is leading to this? And you're like, Evil Dead Burn. And you're like, oh shit. Okay. Ticket purchased.
A24 versus Neon. Which distributor has the more exciting rest of 2026?
I don't know about the rest of 2026, but if we're looking at films overall, A24 beats out Neon. And I like enough Neon films. I've seen enough Neon films, but A24 wins.
Let's go film by film, starting with A24. This summer, A24 releases The Death of Robin Hood. It's a dark reimagining of the legend, and it's directed by Michael Sarnowski, whose previous work includes Pig and A Quiet Place Day One.
Okay. All right. I don't know how much Robin Hood I really give a shit about anymore.
It's got Hugh Jackman in the titular role. And then there's The Invite, a couples comedy from Olivia Wilde, who writes, directs, and also stars.
Pass.
So this summer we've got Tony, which is an Anthony Bourdain origin story starring Dominic Sessa.
Don't want to see that. I mean, I've read his books. They're good. I don't know that I need to see people trying to. And then we're gonna do another Anthony Bourdain impression. I don't know do a good Bourdain. I could probably do one if I really worked on it. But I don't know.
Who you may recognize from The Holdovers. And then this fall kicks off with Onslaught, the trailer of which I just saw ahead of Backrooms, and it looks like a bonkers action horror film.
Did I see that trailer? I don't know. I don't think so.
From Adam Wingard. After that comes Prime Time, in which Robert Pattinson plays Chris Hansen of To Catch a Predator. The trailer for that just went viral. A24 also just won the Cannes bidding war for Club Kid, which is a queer comedy drama about a washed-up New York party promoter. And still on the horizon, we've got the untitled Jesse Eisenberg musical comedy starring Julianne Moore and Paul Giamatti. No date yet, but I am anticipating a late 2026 release. Now let's take a look at Neon's remaining 2026 slate. This summer, we'll see Nicholas Winding Refn's first film in a decade. It's a sci-fi thriller called Her Private Hell,
which we heard last week is possibly the new Megalopolis. That's how bad that sounds.
Then we have All of a Sudden, which is Hamaguchi's new film, a meditative drama about illness and friendship, shot in Paris in French and Japanese. It shared the Best Actress prize at Cannes.
Oh boy, so it's probably pretentious as shit, it sounds like.
Fjord is Christian Manju's English language debut, a slow burn drama about migration and cultural divide set.
Oh, sounds like a blast.
In Norway with Sebastian Stan and Renate Reinsve. It won the Palme d'Or at Cannes. Hope.
Okay, so it is like.
Is a genre-bending sci-fi horror thriller set near the Korean DMZ, where a tiger sighting unravels into something far stranger. This one was one of the more divisive films coming out of the Cannes Film Festival, and I heard it's absolutely bananas. Paper Tiger is James Gray's crime drama starring Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson, and Miles Teller. And finally, we have A Place in Hell, which is a psychological legal thriller starring Michelle Williams and Daisy Edgar Jones.
So A24 is it then, huh?
Report compares the tone of this to Gone Girl and Nightcrawler. So which distributor do you think has a more exciting remaining schedule, A24 or Neon?
That's a push.
Controversy in the world of film as Martin Scorsese has joined a generative AI startup as an advisor and a partner.
Wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want somebody who is a filmmaker and stuff to be a partner to kind of help maybe put parameters or something on this or get it going in the right direction so it's used for art properly? And I just there's so many cats in here that are like all or nothing with AI, and it's just like I think that it's a much grayer area than all of that.
With fast rising artificial intelligence venture Black Forest Labs announcing that Scorsese had signed on to be a partner and an advisor with them last year. Scorsese adding, "I'm interested in the intersection of technology and storytelling and seeing how that can push the bounds of creativity to create deeper and richer experiences for audiences." And as expected, Twitter is not happy with their favorite grandpa using his power and his legacy to promote artificial intelligence.
So when our regular intelligence has been feeding us slop, talk about AI slop. What about Hollywood slop? Is Hollywood slop any worse than AI slop? I'd push to say that no. I'd say it's about the same. So, what's the difference? At the end of the day, what's the difference? And if it's AI stuff, I guess the difference is we're not putting in the money in the hands of, not the greatest people in the world. You can say what you will, Hollywood. You're full of degenerates and horrible people. You put out some entertaining stuff, but let's not pretend like you're all, morals of, or just, bastions of great morals and shit, because you're not. So.
And putting storyboard artists out of work is not cool, and that should not be a controversial opinion. But this is somewhat Scorsese following up Spielberg's comments saying that artificial intelligence can be used as a tool.
Right. And that's what I've always said. It's like it shouldn't be a replacement for like, make me a good movie, press enter, and then it just prints you a good movie. But, to use shorthand and stuff and be able to say, hey, I'd like something like this, and then it to spit out something, and then you can say, hey, use this as kind of a template, and start from here and then make it something like this, or do it like this, but don't do this, do this. Again, art's always kind of been like that. We just did it in different fashions. You'd have lookbooks, you'd have other things that you'd put together to say, like, here's the mood board for this movie or television show or something, and then you'd have pictures from other things. You'd have snippets of music and other things like that, stuff that would all invoke the vibe of your project and everything. This is just a different way of doing that. And because you guys are old and decrepit, you don't understand that that's what it's doing.
I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it being used in storyboarding, which more or less informs what the movie is going to be looking like.
Maybe, but again, you guys act like you just tell it what to do and it does it, and then you blindly follow that. There's so many different factors and stuff in play that I think you guys are like, everyone is thinking about it like a 5-year-old. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you can't think beyond, just the bare things that are like right there in front of you. You need to realize that there's a much bigger world. There's much bigger possibilities and reasons for you to do and not to do any of these things. It's just, everyone is so simplistic. it's maddening.
Are more dastardly examples of the use of AI from well-respected.
Dastardly example is you holding that microphone in front of your face. It's got a clip on it for a reason, homie. Attach it to your shirt.
Filmmakers out there, but this still is a little disappointing coming from Martin Scorsese, coming from someone who has spent the last decade claiming things like Marvel films are not cinema. And it's even interesting now that you have storyboard artists such as Samuel Dietz saying it takes literally seconds for me to storyboard a shot. There is
then your job's meaningless. How about that? How about that? If it takes you seconds to do your job, then your job's kind of shit, ain't it? How much are we paying you for a job that takes seconds to do? I bet too much. Yeah. I mean, again, I'm gonna throw out a number here. I don't know. I don't know from storyboard pay. But let's say for a project, you work for X amount of time. I don't know how it is, but at the end of the day, you get, $30,000. If it takes you 5 hours to do all of that, I mean, because if he's banging them out like he says he's banging them out here, feels like you'd have that done in no time and make yourself a boatload of money. You guys have weird ass priorities.
Absolutely no reason to need
I just want to be able to draw my stuff really fast and be able to pay a whole lot of money for it. Why would you want to do it, the machine to do it for free and do it a better job? So it's not about... You're conflating stuff, dude.
AI built on the stolen work of millions of artists.
You don't know that. You don't know that. And again, all art is derivative and stolen in some way, shape, or form from other things. If you don't think that, you're a jackass. I mean, everything that you watch and everything that you consume will then also inform whatever art that you put out, either directly, indirectly. You may decide to do something like that. You may decide to do something very specifically, not like what you saw. But again, you are all influenced by those things. And to say that you guys have bad arguments.
Artists to storyboard your vision. Have some damn pride and respect your peers. This is and should be a big deal. Martin Scorsese is one of the most well-respected filmmakers out there. And now he is in support and backing and advising an AI venture. The dominoes will start to fall.
Yep. Who knows? I don't know. But thanks for sticking around, MVD. You got all the way to the end, buddy. You did it. I didn't plan on this whole bastard being about 3 hours long. It is what it is. But when you get an hour's worth of material and you have a yapper on the other end like me, that's what tends to end up happening. That's it, everybody. Another TikTok Trash Tuesday in the books here. I love you all so very much. Do me a big giant favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. And check us out Sunday when we are talking Master of the Universe, the new He-Man movie out in theaters. We'll be talking about that on Sunday. Until then, we'll see you next time, Dirty Babies. I love you all. Bye-bye now.